Good afternoon to you. Welcome inside the hook on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. Filling in for Pilar one more day. Believe me, you will have her back tomorrow, and I know that a lot of people are excited to see Pilar up here instead of my ugly mug, and probably you two the most, right?
We've enjoyed having you. Stick. I mean, Maz wasn't supposed to tell you that before the show. I don't know where you heard it, but that's absolutely 100% true.
Well, thank you for your honesty. I appreciate you.
That's what we're all about here at Woodward Sports Network.
You're
a hell of a sub.
The brutal honesty.
Hell of a sub, though.
Yeah, thank you, man.
If you know what, if Nico Goodrum can provide the Tigers with utility play like you do at this station, they'll be in good shape.
I love that. Thank you, man. I am the Don Kelly of this station.
You are Don
right?
Kelly.
Don Kelly, baby.
Donnie Kelly, baby.
You know what? That's right. Manager loves you.
There we go.
Manager loves you.
So let me introduce everybody that's here today. Obviously, to my right, we have Mr. Tom Mazaway, friendly known as Maz. And to my left, we have Mr. Darren McCarty, also known as I Will Punch You in the Face. We got Easy over there making sure producer land is good. Fish making sure audio sounds great. Art is in here. And then, of course, we got the new intern, 2 Live Luke, is in the house.
2 Live Luke, Uncle Luke?
Uncle Luke, baby.
Yeah, 2 Live Luke. I love it.
Yeah, it flows for him, too.
It does.
It really doesn't
Not
suit
Cool
him.
Hand, huh?
No.
That's too old.
I like giving him a little Hood nickname because he's the least thing from Hood that I've ever seen in my life.
Well, you know why, Stick?
Why?
Center and offensive tackle in high school. So there you go.
I played center, too, in high school, man.
Yeah, and basketball.
No, football. I mean, it's center.
Oh, that would have been interesting. Stick center.
Yep. They had me center, defensive end, and linebacker. Those were my positions.
I played center for the 1970 undefeated North Bergen Pee Wee Jets.
Damn, do you still have your trophy?
I do.
Yes, you do.
I
have my
sweatshirt.
That is awesome. We got to do a breakdown like D-Mac did with his fight with you in those games. Do you have any film?
Oh, yeah.
You have film of those games from the 70s?
I got pictures.
Oh, okay.
I got pictures.
I was shocked by that. Well, let's get on into the show, Maz. It is now time for Maz's news update.
All right, thanks, gang. And brought to you by, as always, from MyBookie. And don't forget to use the promo code Woodward. They'll match your first bonus, 50% up to the first $1,000. That's free money for you to spend on March Madness because it continues tonight. 2 games in the Elite Eight. The top seed Gonzagas, they lead it off against number 6 USC at 7:15. The Zags favored by 9 in this one. Michigan and UCLA in the nightcap. The old Blue Bloods. The Wolverines a 6.5-point favorite. The winners will join Baylor and Houston in the Final Four on Saturday, and we'll have Tim McCormick joining us live from Indianapolis. He is on his way to see that game. Michigan in their 4th Elite Eight since 2013, tied for the most with Duke, Gonzaga, and Kentucky. So I'm looking forward to having more fun tonight. Hopefully I'll stay awake. I heard you this morning. It's probably going to be the same for me. If the game is good, I'm going to be wide awake because last night I was dozing off in between the late game last night. It was a good game. Arkansas kept coming back and coming back. Baylor beat them last night, 81-72. Game was closer than that. Baylor got off to a huge start. Arkansas comes back. They don't quit. But Baylor reaches the Final Four for the first time in 71 years. Yes, they made it in 1950. They'll play Houston on Saturday. Those Cougars beat stubborn Oregon State, who kept coming back. They hit a wall at the end. Final score 67-61. They reached the Final Four for the first time since Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde the Glide Drexler in 1984. Baylor's a 5-point favorite on Saturday night. They will be the first game because the big game will probably be Gonzaga or Michigan or whoever survives tonight. By the way, Houston, the first team, we told you about this, first team to reach the Final Four without ever facing a single-digit seed. So they did it 15, 10, 11, and they beat a 12. Meanwhile, the Pistons, they beat a 16 seed. They snapped the 4-game losing streak. They beat the Raptors, who are they are in free fall. They lose 118-104. They sweep the series again for their head coach, Don Casey. Of course, he used to be the head coach of Toronto when they were actually good. They host the Blazers tomorrow. Just a reminder, the draft lottery, June 22nd. The actual draft, July the 29th. What do you got for me, Fish?
It's Dwayne Casey, not Don Casey.
Thank you, buddy. Dwayne Casey. There was a Don Casey. He used to play basketball back in when I was a little boy. By the way, Red Wings looking for 3 straight wins tonight in Florida. The Panthers a very good team. We'll see how that one goes. D-Mac will have his keys. The Tigers wrapped up their Grapefruit League today. They lose to the Rays 5-0. They called it quits after 7 innings. It was a mercy rule. It was like a softball kid rule. 13-12, the Tigers finish up the spring. Casey Mize, 4 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs. He struck out 6. Opening day on Thursday against the Tribe. 8,200 fans allowed in the stadium. And that's it. That's all they're letting downtown. If you don't have a ticket, get the hell out of Detroit. That's what Mayor Duggan is saying. We'll have more on that coming up here. And how about Francisco Lindor? The shortstop went from the Indians to the Mets. He turned down 10 years, $325 million. He wants $385 million. I really think he wants $400 million. The Mets might be screwed here. They sent a lot of players to Cleveland to get this guy, and I think he wants to hit the free agent market. But hopefully the Mets can wrap him up. NFL today, they made it official. The 17-game season is official. There it is. That's the schedule. We showed you yesterday. It's official. The Lions will play in Denver on week 17. Speaking of the Lions and who they're going to draft, Justin Fields at his pro day today at Ohio State. The Lions exec, Chris Spielman, of course, was there. That's his alma mater. Mac Jones, Devontae Smith, Najee Harris, Jalen Waddle, Alabama, holding their pro day. That is a pro.
That's the whole draft.
That's the whole draft, exactly. We have just told you the first 6 picks of the NFL draft. It's just so great, man. How about 40 years ago today? We take you back, Piston fans, to a time when young Isaiah Thomas led Indiana to the national championship.
I think I get 2 quick steals.
And a steal, Isaiah Thomas against Black.
Then the whole momentum change, and you can feel the momentum shift in the building.
Thomas again. Al Wood can't stop him.
Dean Smith said after the game that was kind of the breaking point of the ball game.
Thomas made 7 of his 10 shots in the second half, scoring 19 of his 23 points after intermission, leading the Hoosiers to a 63-50 win and a 4th national title.
Sounds like Stick's chemistry teacher from 8th grade narrating that one. But, of course, you heard the great Dick Enberg on the call on that one. Isaiah, of course, brought home, of course, the most valuable player of that tournament. And Bobby Knight and not Pacers, the Hoosiers win the championship with Isaiah. Of course, he goes to the Pistons just a couple of months after that.
Man, is there any better small guard in NBA history than Isaiah Thomas?
No.
Like, we could have this debate. You know, you could put Steph Curry in there as a scorer, but he's not a two-way player like Zeke was. And what Zeke did, you know, when he was playing the Lakers in that Game 6, coming off the bum ankle, Zeke is everything, and I'm so glad he was a part of the Detroit Pistons because he embodied our city like nobody else.
But here's the thing, and you look back when he was in college, like, he's amongst trees, right? You don't really realize that because he played on the inside. He was an old school tough. He's as tough as they come, and he wasn't like the biggest guy, and for being that slight, but yeah, he is definitely the motor that ran that Pistons team, and the angriness that Lambeer and all the big guys had. Well, that came from their leader in Isaiah because he played bigger than any of those guys.
Yeah, when Terry Foster fills in for Bell and Baligian sometimes when he's available, it's so interesting to hear his stories about that era because he was covering it. Obviously, he was in the Bad Boys 30 for 30 too. Yep. So here it gets straight out of Terry's mouth of just how much of a general Isaiah was in that locker room and how much of an enforcer that turned Lambeer into. And they had their pecking order, and that was it. And you saw when Adrian Dantley kind of stepped out of line, boop, you're gone. We're going to bring in Mark Aguirre.
Isaiah's buddy.
Yep, they just handled business, and that's what it was about. It was about winning business.
And again, the game changed, and they knew the way they had to win, obviously, because they're in between Chicago's runs and things like that. They're in LA and making it difficult. Yeah. And obviously, it was the NBA against the Pistons, but the way that they played as much with the heart of Detroit as we did downtown as the Red Wings. So, and you look at the teams, the way they were built together, you had soldiers in the Army, just like we did.
I'll tell you, guys, if you missed it, 30 for 30, Bad Boys is great. 30 for 30, Showtime, Lakers against the Celtics, 3-parter was awesome. I just read that HBO is doing a new series on the Lakers, the Showtime era Lakers.
Wow.
Adrian Brody will play Pat Riley. Pat Riley.
Riley?
Yeah. You got to see the staff, the cast. I got to find it and read it to you, but it's going to be something. John C. Riley is going to be Jerry Buss.
Oh, that's amazing. Anything John C. Riley, I'm in.
I know.
I'm all the way in.
I love it, man.
D-Mac, yesterday you did a little early preview, Pit Boss NASCAR. You want to get into the recap of how you did yesterday?
You betcha. So yesterday, obviously, we had the Bristol Food City 400 dirt race. First time in a long time. In fact, Fish and I were talking about it earlier. What year was that, Fish? Because the last time they ran on the dirt, Richard Petty won.
Woo!
It was like in the 60s. We said that earlier, 67 or so.
Yeah, 1970-something.
70-something.
Look at that dirt.
So a long time on the dirt. You see how it is. I mentioned yesterday, it was a Monday. They don't usually have Monday races, but because of the rain out, and you can imagine, so they had the trucks. Earlier in the day yesterday, Martin Truex Jr. won the truck race. Unfortunately, he did not win, or did Kurt Busch, or Ryan Newman, Ryan Newman at our plus 6,000 was in it until the end. But again, it went to Joey Logano. And any of you Joey Logano number 22 fans out there throwing back, look at the dirt race. That's as much as he beat Denny Hamlin the 11 by. But again, now we have the 7th individual winner of the races.
Yeah,
so
new one
he's
every
won
week.
before, but the thing is here's the guys are going to be clamoring into do the Xfinity race, because Blaney did the Xfinity race, won the NASCAR race on the Sunday. Logano just did it on this Sunday, so we'll see who's in the booth next week. But what a great race. And during the race, before the third stage, they announced that they're coming back next year for another dirt race. So just another way for, as Art says, to go 4 left turns, because he's an idiot. But that's all right. It was a great race, exciting to the end. A lot of big bang-ups early, but next weekend it's an off weekend, so we have no pit boss this weekend. They get
it's
a
Easter.
break. It's a
Easter
break
off.
in the action. Yeah, exactly. So we have Easter off. So but you know what? As a NASCAR fan, look at the Robbins race, and there's Eric Amarola causing some damage early. Which,
That looks fun, man. I mean, I'm not a huge NASCAR guy. I'm not a big race car guy. Love the horses, though. But that looks fun, racing in the dirt like that. I think I dig that more than a regular.
My dad used to do that. He was a dirt track driver for a long time. I'll show you some old pictures of him getting trophies afterwards. It's such
cool.
It's a different than, like Art says, 4 left turns.
Yeah.
Well, but the whole thing, and here's where you get down to it, right? A lot of these guys grow up dirt racing, and then they get away from it. Sort of like us guys skating on the ponds.
Sure.
Right? So when you get these outdoor games in the NHL, it's sort of like going back to that dirt racing. But a lot of guys don't have the experience. That's like my guy Brad Kozlowski, who has limited experience in a dirt race, but for these guys to be able to do it, you watch these guys, and the fact that Logano wins and Denny Hamlin's in second, that they're not known to be dirt race guys. Who did I pick last week? Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell, who were top dirt race guys. So I mean, it's exciting, it's incredible, and it's a great way, like you said. That to me, Art would like, because it's like demolition derby, half-mile track in dirt, sliding right, sliding left.
That
you never
screams
know.
Art.
It
That screams something Art would love.
It does.
Something I love, Michigan basketball, and I love watching this team play. Obviously, they're playing tonight at 9:57, and we're going to break that down coming up next on The Hook.
You don't fumble the ball at work. Hey, Drake Bell, Sean Baligian. See you guys next weekend.
Thanks, mate. Oh, Bell's soft. Wait till it comes to New Zealand. Pour that out.
Joint Bell's soft. Anyways, D-Mac here, GrowGreenMI.com. Grow Green, the country's largest hydro store, buys in bulk, passes the savings on to you. The growers looking for soil. They have over 1,000 pallets in stock, including Pro Mix, Dairy Dew, Roots Organic, Fox Farm, all at the lowest prices in the state. Check out their dank deals for insane deals like bags of Ocean Forest for $8 and gallons of Turpinator for just $50. Mention Woodward Sports Network for a free t-shirt. Click GrowGreenMI.com. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
All right, so tonight, Michigan has a chance to go to the Final Four, and That sentence is just so sweet to say. This is the big hook. Michigan versus UCLA. Michigan favored by 6.5 points. Guys, how you feeling about the game tonight?
I feel really good. I feel really good. And when you hear the comments coming out of Juwan Howard, and it was funny today. If you heard, I'm sure you guys played a little bit of what he said about being reached out by his former teammates and all the guys who played. Oh yeah, and LeBron James, by the way. One of the, but here's the one thing after the game, and when you listen, because it's Juwan Howard being the pro, what you're seeing is everything I've told you as far as the culture, because what and I see is that he treats these guys like men and holds them accountable. It's the old kick the dog, pet the dog, right? You can give somebody criticism, but then you gotta leave them with something positive, and that's what I see out there. That's what teams defensively, right? Defense travels. Stick, you said that you say that all the time.
Yep.
And it's true in any sport. When you commit to defense, that's effort. That's effort. That's buying in. So, you know what? It's a lot easier to take corrective criticism when you know it's about the process, and these guys are all in. It's unfortunate that livers and onions won't be there, but but the big thing is when you hear this, and this is the one thing when we talked to Tim McCormick, who's going to join us, actually on his way to Indy. How exciting! But the thing is that of the guys that have all bought in, but Livers, even though he's not playing, you can tell his energy on the bench and practice part of these guys, that these guys are playing just as hard as if he was there. And I'm excited for this game. Obviously, it's, I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I look for Michigan to build on the way that they came out and started the game against Florida State. So I'm looking for Maz to have maybe not as relaxing of a night, but if he might be able to fall asleep before the end of the game and feel happy.
Ooh, I would love that. Like Stick says, he enjoyed the last 6-7 minutes of the game the other night, the other afternoon.
Yep.
I'd love to have that today. I was falling asleep on Baylor last night. I'd love to fall asleep on Michigan leading UCLA by about 18. But you know what? You can't count your chickens. The Bruins are tough. They don't go away. They're a number 11 seed. They were a play-in. They beat Michigan State. They earned their way here. Only the second team to earn it this far, as a play-in. VCU was the other team. And, Juwan Howard, you see that on your screen right now. He put that out today. He's like, I'm ready for game day. I mean, the guy, he's like a player. It's like he's the sixth guy on the court. He's not going to let these guys fail. He will not. He will not get out-coached. I can promise you that. I know Grandpa, UCLA's grandpa in the stands is a good luck charm for the Bruins, but I think their luck runs out tonight. Brandon Johns has been great. He steps up again. Franz Wagner has been terrific. And, of course, Hunter Dickinson is the stud, if you ask me. He might not get the MVP of the series or the season right now. He was Big Ten Freshman of the Year. He made the All-Wooden team. This kid is the goods. I just don't see them failing. I just see I see a win tonight. I just hope they play as good as they did the other day. If they play as good as they did on Sunday, they will have no issue with UCLA.
Here's your point to your point, Maz, right? Is that when you have a coach that believes in you and they're going to play as hard for him as he is coaching. You're right. He is the sixth player, and that's when you see where you still see that there's that divide because there's that respect where he's not quite the player's coach, but he's sort of leading them. What you got to understand, too, against this UCLA team, they lost 4 games in a row going in, is why they were playing game. So technically these guys are better than their 11th seed, yes. And they play like their coach. They're coached very well. They play hard. It's going to be a tough game, but like you said, when you control your own destiny, no matter who you're up against, it's all about what Juwan Howard puts out there, and that tells me that they're ready. And it's sort of like, this is what we're doing. We control our own destiny by the way that how we play.
They turned Florida State into mush the other day. I mean, they couldn't have played a worse game. And, how many did they hit? 3-pointers, 5 of them? Most of them were at the end of the game when it was out of the wood already.
I believe they were 5 of 20 for the entire game and like 0 of 7 in the first half. When you look at UCLA, though, the thing that scares me about them is they have beaten every opponent by multiple digits. Like no margin of victory has been less than 10 points all the way through this tournament.
Well, to my point, they're not on 11, right? It's the same thing in Michigan State. What I said, whoever wins that playing game could spark them because because of the culture and because of whatever else. And
you
that's,
looked at their bracket and who they had to play. Like, you knew once they got past Michigan State, BYU, okay, not a great team. Yes, they play Gonzaga, but that's probably the only tough team on their schedule the entire season. Then you get the upset with Baligian Christian falling in your lap, so there's another kind of easy victory.
Yeah.
Obviously, the victory against Alabama is well fought and well earned, so you got to give them the feather in their cap for that. But yeah, Michigan's a different animal, and if Hunter Dickinson can stay out of foul trouble and they get that bench support they've gotten the last 2 games from those 3 unknown players, the Shawnee Browns, the guy Brandon Johns is another guy, and then Eli Brooks. Those are the 3. Those are the unsung heroes that are so important to winning this game.
How about the hair battle tonight?
Oh, dude, we mentioned it. I love it. It's my favorite thing right now. Mike Smith versus Tyga Campbell.
But they're both the same size.
Yeah.
No. I mean, this plays well, I think, for Mike Smith, because when he goes up against a guy that his size, then hopefully the talent can take it away. But I don't know if you're right. How long is it going to take you from staring at the hair?
It's going to look like 2 troll dolls going at each other. That's what I'm so excited about.
No, you remember the ones you used to look at the pencil and you get them the
Mike
hair
Smith
up?
made a great comeback game the other day because
did.
he was a turd. Let's face it. So far in the early part of this tournament, he did not play well. Big rebound game against Florida State. Looked great, got his confidence back. To me, I put that on Juwan Howard. He probably told him, forget those games. Go back and show us what you did. You got us here.
Yeah, I got excited when he finally hit a step-back 3. Because like that last shot, was it against State where he did that step-back 3 and lost the game for him? I thought that was the worst call of Juwan Howard's coaching career at Michigan so far.
Well, he couldn't get the ball to Dickinson. But it could have been
a good one to know for when it comes down to it what he's not going to do, right? So that's where coaching comes in. And it's the same thing as you mentioned UCLA winning by double digits. Hopefully what comes out is that they get against it, and what Maz said, why Florida State was shut down. That Michigan defense was relentless. The turnovers and just smothering. So it's not they didn't give them anything, and that hopefully because you said Stick UCLA had sort of an easier path with some of the upsets that it comes back, and early on we can be dominant.
Yeah, I think they will. Like you said, if they play like they have the last 2 games, I don't think there's a team in this country that can beat them.
We haven't seen Gonzaga a lot. We'll see if they get tested tonight. I think they will get tested tonight. Big time, as a matter of fact.
So I know you guys are taking them straight up, but what about the points, the 6.5?
I'll give the 6.5.
You'll give the 6.5?
I will.
Yeah, I'll give the points.
Okay.
I'll give the points.
I don't think that's a lot. I think that number's right there.
I think the other game could fall between the points. I'd take USC in that one.
Dude, how about last night, Oregon State hitting that last-second shot to break?
Well, hell, they gave everything else away. I needed that because I won my parlay with that point.
Did you?
I won by a point on each game. And let's face it, they shit the bed in the last 3 minutes of the game. Just when they caught up to them, they catch up to them. They're ready to put Houston over. They're ready to get pushed off. And they couldn't do anything. They're falling on the floor. They're slipping. They're fouling. They're throwing the ball out of bounds. They had no answer at the end of that game. They choked at the end of that game. Actually, they woke up. They turned back into a pumpkin. That's what happened.
Yeah, Houston missed a lot of free throws at the end. Houston could have put that game away with like 3 to 4 minutes to play and put it away with the spread.
I'm watching the game with my daughter. Lily's watching it with me, and I'm cursing. And it's like, Dad, the game's, they're going to win. I'm like, I just need 8 points. I need 8 points. She don't know what the hell that even means. She don't even know.
But it's as true to the form as what's going into that game. The Oregon State lived and dies by the 3 ball and by shooting, and they eventually ran out. You made a great point. They turned back into the pumpkin.
That's it.
Yeah, they were down a lot early. They caught up, but obviously they
couldn't
win the
game. Come back. I mean, they were kicking their ass in the second half.
They were up by 7 too. It was 34-17 at halftime. So another big game tonight, Gonzaga and UFC. That will be the other deciding factor on who gets into the Final Four. We're going to cover that game coming up next on The Hook.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Hey, gang, it's Maz from my bookie. It's March Madness. Where else do you want to go? Your brackets are busted? Forget it. You could still make some money with my bookie. They got all the games you want, NBA, NHL, UFC, do whatever you want. But right now, everyone's concentrating on the Elite Eight and getting into the Final Four. Do yourself a favor. Get a head start. Use that promo code Woodward. They'll match your first deposit halfway up to $1,000. That is your money to keep. You don't have to bet it. You don't have to bet it if you don't want, or you could just sneak it away like we all do from our wives. That's a little sneak money. The best part is you always have access to the action, whether you're at home or on the go, your computer or on your phone at mybookie.ag. Use the promo code Woodward for your free money. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
And if you're interested in some action tonight,
sweet action,
some sweet action. 9-point favorite Gonzaga
8.5.
taking 8.5
dropped.
When did it just drop
Yeah,
now?
just dropped 8.5.
Wow. So all right, people are starting to put some money on USC then, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So you got Gonzaga versus UNC.
I want to
How
look
you
at
feeling about that game?
I want to look at the straight odds for a minute.
They're believing in the Mobleys. The Mobley brothers. Evan Mobley, obviously has been carrying USC the whole way. And Gonzaga, when it comes down to the point of this in the tournament, have they been tested enough? I know in the one game this year we could say is BYU gave them a scare, but is that really a scare? So, sometimes we as a Michigan fan, task at hand, but USC, you never know. How many times have we seen this in the tournament where some guy we have never heard of or brothers, UCLA comes to mind back in the day. But these Mobley brothers are the real deal, but they're going to have to step up, and it's going to have to be one of these showcase games.
USC right now, if you wanted to bet them straight up on the money line or plus 350, I played them yesterday. I got plus 370. So there is a little line movement right now if you want to bet even. 8.5 is the spread. It was 9 yesterday. Gonzaga, nobody has beat them. They've been terrific. There's no reason for anyone really to bet against them. USC is playing their best basketball. The Pac-12 has really showed us that is a hell of a basketball conference as well. We just don't pay attention to them because they play late at night. But basically, you have two teams that you really don't watch all year, but you're locked in on them now. Gonzaga trying to be the first team to run the table since '76 when the Indiana Hoosiers won it all, and they beat Michigan to remain unbeaten. So just 2 more games to go. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 more wins for Gonzaga, and they take it off the sheet. We'll see how they do tonight. I like USC in the points. I think the Zags will still hang on and win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got all number 1 seeds in my Final Four. Obviously, that bit me with Illinois, but other than that,
Bet everyone.
Yeah,
Unless you were playing like I did for a couple of series. I played Loyola a couple times to win a couple games, but mostly I had Illinois going.
Right. Adam had Houston going to his Final Four, so I was pumped about that. And keeping up with our bracket challenge that we did with Hall Financial has been a lot of fun. Just watching people go up and down the scoreboard. At one time, my mom was second. Now she's like 152nd. But still, at one time, and she called me so jacked up. And right now, Joey's cousin or Joey's sister-in-law, soon-to-be sister-in-law, is at number 7.
That's not fair. He's got 6 million cousins.
Should have had 6 million entries then.
They stacked the deck, man. The Namos stacked the deck.
He's related to everybody.
He is, Joe. And if not, he knows everybody.
Well, there you go.
That's what. Speaking of, I told him Tim McCormick's going to be on with us later, and Tim McCormick cut Joey from the basketball team in high school. So.
Deservedly so.
He kept saying, "Hey," Joey kept telling him and complaining, "Hey, Coach, I'm open. He's like, "Joey, there's a reason you're open. Right. No one gives a shit."
But he's like, "Coach, I can serve the coldest water in the land." But no, that'll be fun if Joey pops in while Tim McCormick's on. But for tonight's game, yeah, I think Gonzaga's still going to roll. We really haven't seen them get tested, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Maybe in this game they get tested so we can see what their mettle actually is, because I don't think we've gotten a good look at that to this point in the tournament. So if Gonzaga wins, I want it to be a close game, and I want them to prove it to me that they deserve to be here, not just they play in some lame-ass conference and they can run through the easiest bracket.
Hey, they've been to the Final Four, like Michigan. I told you. The most teams to make it to the Final Four. Michigan has done it.
Since 2013.
4 times since 2013.
Yep.
Gonzaga has 2. Duke and Kentucky, they didn't make the tournament this year.
Right.
They are the other 2 teams. So those 2 teams rightfully should play in the Final Four, if you ask me.
It'd be a great matchup. I would love to see Gonzaga and Michigan play.
How about it could be USC, UCLA? It could be a Pac-12 matchup. I mean, a football matchup.
Yeah.
Really?
California doesn't deserve that.
No, they don't. I'm just saying, what if they really went on the outside of this whole thing and a huge upset?
Well, we all said that, the Pac-12 is playing out the way the Big Ten was supposed to play out, but we got exposed, so hopefully the leaders and the best can get it done.
I'm happy for Baylor. Baylor makes it for the first time since 1950. Houston, first time since 1984. It's good to have all these new teams in there.
And you know what's great about that? They play each other.
Yeah.
So one of them is going to get to the Final Four, which,
And they will be the underdog no matter which team gets in there. I think, maybe you think Baylor might be favored over Michigan?
I don't know. It depends. It depends when the tournament first started. We talked about it yesterday. Houston was favored above Michigan to win the national championship.
Yeah.
So, and that was from Vegas. So, if those two meet in the national championship, are you still favoring Houston over Michigan? What you got, Easy?
Two potential Pistons in tonight's matchup as well.
Mobley?
Mobley and Jalen Suggs, I believe, too, from Gonzaga.
Suggs,
Yeah.
We're going to go off the board and take a European player.
Again?
No,
we just tried that with Killian Hayes,
I'm
damn
joking,
it.
man. I'm joking. I want to get under your skin there for a minute.
Thank you. Jeez.
I'm still not over Darko. So
you and me both, homie. Mobley has been the one guy that a lot of people have been talking about the Pistons looking strongly at. That's if we can't get Cade Cunningham. If we can get Cade, then we go ahead and get Cade. But outside of that, Mobley would be a decent pick.
I read some stats today on the draft lottery, and the way the Pistons are sitting now, second worst record in the league, they still have the most opportunity to pick fifth.
Yep.
I mean, what the? We pick seventh.
Wait, that's usually the Red Wings.
Right.
Wait, what's going on? The NBA can't treat the Pistons like the NHL treats the Red Wings.
I don't get it. How did the Cavaliers pick two number ones in the last whatever years it was, in that little punk
Kyrie? Yep. Yeah. No, that was after LeBron left them. I don't get it either. I mean, maybe that's just the largest percentage, but yeah, we're second to worst in the league.
Yes.
And we could be picking fifth. This year we kind of got screwed too at 7. Like,
of course we did.
We could have been 4
we always
or 3.
pick 7th.
Yeah.
Look at all the drafts. 7th, 8th, 9th.
That's why when we get there with any of the 4 teams or any of the college teams, that it means something, and we feel like we always earned it. It's always climbing the mountain. Why is it done differently? I mean, look at our teams before we got there. It's sort of the Detroit way. They go, don't worry, it's Detroit. They'll take it. And you know what? We will. And we'll come back stronger. And you look at the way that everything's building downtown. So whether it's the Pistons, Lions, Tigers, Wings, we're in good shape.
Yeah, I mean, we're trending up in every team sport right now.
Well,
but
how could we trend down?
That was my next comment. But with that being
you gotta
said,
throw the negative in there always, Maz? Just the glass isn't half full or half empty; it's refillable. Would you please get on to the 2021?
Yes.
I can't believe I've never heard that in my life. That analogy right there, and I love it.
Right, exactly. Well, try. Can you please dump some that way, because I'm trying to get Maz out of that. Always going.
He's from New York, man.
I know.
They're the most pessimistic people on the planet. You know what this guy grew up in? Squalor, New York. Rats running up and down the street. Having to take subways.
Those are our pets. Don't talk about our pets that way.
What's squalor?
New York.
Squalor?
Yeah.
Don't you dare talk about New York that way. You have respect.
I have no respect for New York.
I told you, do we have to go over this again? I don't think you were in the studio the time that you could see how old I am, because the Knicks were. I was 10 years old when the Knicks won a championship. Look at me now.
Right.
That's all I got to say.
Squalor. I just looked it up because
it's garbage.
Sometimes I use words that I don't know the exact
definition.
I
know you use it I know you used it properly.
I did use it properly.
But what is it?
The state of being extremely dirty and unpleasant, especially a result of poverty and neglect. New York.
It's not poverty.
Dude, did you ever hit that right on the head stick?
I told you. I may not know, but I know.
Dude, if Miggy swings a bat like that on opening day, he's going to have 4 dongs.
That's right.
13
Speaking of 4 dongs, how you doing, Art? Just messing with you, buddy. No, New York is a great place, but honestly, the first time I ever went to New York, like, you see all these movies, it's majestic, you're on a date with a girl, you're downtown, you're at the tree, it's all lit up. First of all, our campus, Marcius, is bigger than what they have there.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Our skating rink is bigger than Rockefeller Center.
No, it's
is.
not.
Look it up. Look it up, Baz.
I don't have to look it up.
Okay.
I know it's Rockefeller Center is twice the size.
No, it's not. Not the skating
The tree's
rink.
bigger.
The tree may be bigger. But then you're going to a nice dinner, and what's on the side of the road? Just mounds of trash, fucking
Well, it was
rats all
garbage
over the
night.
place. Huh?
It's garbage night.
Yeah, but
Every
I'm
night.
trying to have a nice date with my wife.
Well, don't go there then. You should have called me. I would have told you where it went.
It was downtown Manhattan. I thought Manhattan would be a nice place. But either way, I like New York. I love how...
Where'd you go, to Bowery?
I don't know where the hell we were, but I've had fun in New York. It's just not for me. It's not for me.
That's good. We don't want you there anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to be there. And obviously you don't want to be there.
I do. I do want to be there. That's my whole life, and my family's there.
Why? You're here now, though.
Because my wife is a St. Clair Shores girl.
That's
and
right.
I came to my wife.
And that's what we do it for.
Well, look what I left
back. Yeah, you left squalor.
I did not.
So, yeah, Gonzaga tonight, I think we all agree, is going to get the victory on that end.
I don't agree.
You don't agree?
I told you it's going to be close.
I
wouldn't be shocked if USC won.
And the money and the points. Mazda's got him on the money line.
I told you I took him a little bit yesterday on the money line, plus 370. I'm not going to bet him on the money line tonight, but I will bet him with the points. I'll do it. My parlay is going to be Michigan and USC.
Beautiful.
With the points.
Well, we got Tim McCormick calling in to talk more Michigan basketball. Obviously, big game tonight at 9:57 p.m.
Or thereabout.
Weird
Last
time.
night's 9:57 tip, I looked. It went off at 10:03.
Oh, and I was out by 10:15. So let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk to Tim McCormick all about his Michigan predictions. And he's down in Indy right now.
He is. He got a last-minute ticket. Otherwise, he would have been on the video with us.
Beautiful. We'll talk to him next.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back inside the hook on the Woodward Sports Network.
Why you guys got to break my balls all the time?
Because you're from New York,
Yeah,
and that's
you're
what we
from
do.
New
We
York
break
and
balls.
busted.
Hey, we break balls
wanna
around
break
here.
your
What are
balls
we
in your
doing?
squad. What's going on?
You guys are constantly
Come
on my
on.
ass. What the
Hey,
hell, man?
Up your ass.
Hey, Paisan, I'm just talking about the meatballs.
Forget about it.
Hey,
Fugazi.
Yeah, what, you think you a wise guy? It is something.
Yeah,
Shit,
come
I can be from New York, too. Look at me.
What do you think I have Tim McCormick on for? He was a New Jersey Net. That's why.
That's right. Hey, Tim McCormick, are you there? Can we hear Tim? Hello, Tim. Oh, is he on, Fishy? Says he's on. Let's try to recall him real quick, or make sure we unmute him and make sure Tim McCormick's ready to rock. Well, we're batting 1 of 4 on phone calls right now then. So we had 3 successful ones, but we got to make sure Tim is on with us. Give a little background on Tim, though. Like you said,
I will, man. He was first of all, he was with the Michigan Wolverines, played with them back in the 80s. Look at that guy. First round draft pick of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think he was 6th overall pick or 12th overall pick. Then they traded him, winds up with Philly, does a couple other teams, the Nets. He does 10 years in the NBA, and then he does what he really loves, gets on the microphone, gets on with Fox Sports Detroit here, of course, with the Pistons, and, of course, with ESPN for college basketball. Guy's a wealth of knowledge. That's why I love having him on.
And obviously an international sex symbol by the picture we just saw.
There he is.
That was beautiful.
Tim, are you there?
No, it's not on the line just yet. Oh, man, look at that Skybox trading cards. You guys remember trading? Did you ever collect trading cards, D-Mac? Do you have, like, your own trading card?
Well, I actually came in. Yeah, I came in at the right time. I think if you look at the early, like 93, 94, 95, 96, I mean, there's 23 rookie cards I think I have of different, going back to it. I wish I would have kept a lot of them before. What they used to do is, because in the NHL, you sign off with the PA, your licensing, so the money goes to that. But all the cards, you get a copy. They send you to the dressing room. They send these big tubs to you, and they have everybody's cards so they can take them. And a lot of times guys didn't want them, so I ended up with the whole stacks of cards. I think they're somewhere in storage and stuff that from back in 96, 97, 98 championships. So that definitely was a big guy. I came in at the right time.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. I still have my collection of baseball cards and football cards, and I have all these unopened packs too, because I used to like buy the boxes that had the packs in them, but I wouldn't open the packs, and I still have them, like 1981 Topps NFL cards, and I got like 1989, I believe they're Don Russ unopened. So I don't know what I have.
There's a big market these days
for unopened packs,
unopened bags, or having opening parties and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I'd love to explore that more, and I want to go back through and like chronologically order all the stuff that I have, because once upon a time I had a Jerry Rice rookie card at one point, and that was when I was young, and one just sold for like $40,000.
Listen, don't start there, because I had 8 Wayne Gretzky rookies in my bike tires that were worth thousands of dollars.
Why didn't you use someone else, man?
Dude, because the bike was a great one.
It was.
He made my wheels sound pop, 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 pop. Is he on, Fishy? Tim, are you there?
All right, anyways.
Yeah. I can't hear him, Fish, so make sure his audio's sending through the board or whatever we need to do to make sure that happens.
We'll keep trying. Tim's not going anywhere.
No, he's in Indiana.
He is.
Waiting for
he's
this.
Locked and loaded.
Waiting for this game to start. Maz, what kind of cards did you collect back in the day?
Oh, I collected everything. As a matter of fact, I still have a great baseball card collection, great football card. I got some hockey. I got the big boy basketball cards, which Scotty Bowman always asked me about. You collect those big boy basketball cards? I don't know why he was fascinated with big boy basketball cards, but they were the tall cards. They were great. I have my Willis Reed. I got my Walt Frazier, my Dave DeBusschere, Bill Bradley. I got all my Knicks back in the day. Bob Lanier was one of my favorites. He was a Piston. Dave Bing, of course. But here's the kicker. Back in the day, I'd say in the late 80s, my buddy decides to sell his card collection, because cards were starting to peter out a little. So he got enough money to put a down payment on his first house. And then a year later, I tried to sell mine, and they completely dropped out. I wound up keeping them. So I'm hoping it keeps coming. I hope it comes back one of these days.
Maz. I would look into it now, honestly, because
I would.
Here's the one thing, too, right? Where the next level in 2021 are these images, right? Where it's on the blockchain or whatever, where people are selling these images, where that's the new age thing. I don't understand it, but I guess, it never goes away and stuff like that. So, but just like anything else, it's cyclical, that people want to go back to the historical stuff.
I think I'm hearing somebody in my
I've been
headphones.
I've been hearing them the whole time.
Tim, you there?
Hey, Tim. We're just hearing ourselves. Hang it up and let's call him back, Fish. Let's start from scratch.
No, I'm hearing Tim talking to some lady.
He might be outside. Maybe he's hawking his tickets.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, tickets. What do you got? I got two in the lower deck. I don't think anyone's sitting in the lower deck, by the way.
Speaking of New York, that is so New York right there.
Look at that.
Lower deck tickets?
No,
scalping
tickets.
Yeah. Come to find out, did you know a lot of these scalpers are in bed with the actual teams?
Of course.
Like the teams just hand them stacks of tickets to go out there. I didn't know that. I was under the impression that these guys like scam their tickets somehow and were just trying to make some money. But no, the teams do that to fill up empty tickets that they haven't sold already. It's
what a business.
It's a crazy business, and you're kind of scamming people by doing that.
I personally, I always like getting tickets from those kind of people. That was my favorite. I didn't want to buy tickets ahead of time. I always wanted to go to the game, and I always thought I'd get a better seats. And I'd always wait right before the game because the prices are coming down. They're coming down, and that's the way I did business. When I came here to Michigan, it was a little different. You had to be away from the stadium a lot more. I remember at the Palace, they used to parade around and make sure you stayed away from the atrium area. We had to go like lot 4H over there to do business and stuff like that. But it was always fun trying to get a ticket. My best ever was the 1981 World Series. Me and 3 other friends. It was 4 of us. Took the subway over, went to Yankee Stadium. It was Game 6, Dodgers-Yankees, and I was the ringleader. I'm like, all right, guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at the ushers. Because they used to stand outside the stadium and they had the turnstiles. I'm gonna pick a guy out. You follow me in with a $10 bill. Just roll a $10 bill up in your hand, have it ready like you're handing him a ticket, and follow me. So I find the guy. I had a 5 in my hand, by the way, not a 10.
Tell your boys to pay 10.
I told them 10.
Of course you did.
I had a 5. So I'm like, all right, I got the guy. Follow me. You sure, Matt? Yeah, I got him. I walk in, the guy's taking tickets. Then he's not looking. He's just ripping and ripping. I give him the 5, walk right through. Ticket, my friend, big smiles on our face, each one. Boom, 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 boom. We're in the freaking World Series for a total of $35. I didn't have a seat, but I sat everywhere.
Who needs a seat?
I was sitting on the steps. And Willie Randolph led the game off with a home run. Dodgers came back to win that game, and they won the championship. I had to watch the Dodgers win a championship, but that was my best bet ever, getting in a World Series game for $5.
Well, you're speaking of baseball, right? So old enough for Tiger Stadium, but my dad, when we used to go over to Tiger Stadium all the time, it was outside down the street, and he had a guy that he always knew that we go to the game, and we'd have tickets and stuff like that. And the same thing, I remember driving in, if you know the old Joe Louis Arena, with the parking. Where we park, we parked on. Remember when we used to park on the riverfront and had to walk across?
Yeah.
So then they moved us to the front. But when we'd walk across there, especially playoff time, everybody was selling tickets.
Yeah.
Or the guys would be like, "Hey, you got any extras? You got any extras? You got any extras?"
That's just their way. I think they go home and they say that in their sleep. Got any extras? Got any extras? I'm like, extras? There's no one at the game. Usually for these old Tiger games. You got any extras? Got any extras? There's a million extras. Of course there's extras. No one's going.
Yep. So if you're a scalper, hook a boy up, man. That's all I'm asking for. Just give me a good price. Because I used to hate that when you'd like go to a scalper and thinking you were going to get that good price, and they're still like $100 each. You're like, no, I could just walk up to the window and pay.
That's when you got to place the guy at the end with the guy at the end. Well, that guy said this, so
right.
I'm going this. Whoa. That's the one thing. Hey, honestly though, like from my time when I worked over at Hardcore Pond, American Jewelry and Loan, the show with the golds.
Heck yeah.
I learned much about that business and about haggling and about dealing and stuff like this. That there's always a market. You know what I mean? It's all about the conversation.
You could buy anything. You can negotiate anything.
Yeah.
90% of everything is negotiable.
95.
Well, we're still working on getting Tim McCormick on, but with that, we got to take a break anyways. And coming up next, we're going to talk a little bit about what Mayor Duggan said this afternoon about opening day. We did Me Gusta or No Me Gusta yesterday, and he pretty much made his decision.
He goosted.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next, right here on The Hook. I mean, we're inside Grow Green right now, and they have everything. I'm talking, you got your active air fans, you got your big lights over there, big pots, little pots, and Joey, what are you doing right now?
Get some sun.
That's not what those lights are for.
Feels nice.
Go to Grow Green MI today to get all your growing needs and a tan. Welcome back inside the Hook on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick, filling in for Pilar. We have Maz and D-Mac on stage, and opening day is this Thursday. It's also D-Mac's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Birthday party at the Brass Rail Pizza Bar.
Is this your last in the 40s?
This is my last in the 49. Remember, Chris Draper turns 50 May 24th.
Nice.
I'm not the oldest.
So we're throwing Maz a pizza party at the Brass Rail, right downtown. It's
Detroit.
a pizza party.
Detroit style.
For my man D-Mac, celebrating his birthday. You want to try one more time to say hi to Tim? Hey, Tim, are you there? You hearing him, Easy? No, we're not hearing him.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Tell Tim we're going to reschedule him for after the game.
Yep, we'll get a
after
interview.
the win tomorrow. We would need to talk to him, and the one thing that I know that Tim
or send him VMix
would say is that the matchups. So that would be interesting to see, but it'll be nice that he's going to have eyes on it.
Yeah.
What did you call it before? He was going to set the scene.
He was a scene setter.
So what do you call it when? What do you call it when after?
After? That's just the post game. Post game. That's all.
Hey, Tim, can you hear us? I can hear you in my headphones.
That's all right.
Sounds like he's at a drive-through or something. You hear that?
It sounds like he's on another different call. Yeah, anyways.
Hey, Tim.
This is live.
Yeah, this is
live.
No other way to do it than live.
All right, might as well cut him off.
Live streaming.
Yeah, cut him off, but you could hear him talking to somebody.
No,
I just don't think...
I don't think he gives a shit about talking to us.
Yeah, shoot him the VMix code if you can, and we'll see if we can get him on that way. But either way, Mike Duggan, he came out with a speech this afternoon. If you want to call it a speech, but it was really an ultimatum.
It was an edict.
That's a
What's
great,
that mean now? Squalor,
great word.
edict, which pretty much he parental.
Yeah.
I like the way he did it though, and he gave me the why. That's why, like, I don't like it. Right? Don't get me wrong. I don't like it, I get it. But it's when I'm talking about the same things of hashtag let them play, the same things with the governor. The mayor gives you the reason, right? So I can understand that. And to me, because we've gone this far and because what he says and because, we have the vaccines at Ford Field, the TCF spot, that we're close. And he gave me a reason to that. So hopefully for next year, and if this is a main thing down in the city, because the science says the numbers have gone up, I'm not going to like it, but I'm going to sort of adhere to it. I mean, the reason we're going down there is because we're going to be, part of the city as much as we can. And for anybody who has tickets and are abiding by the rules that wants to stop by the brass rail to say hello before that and socially distance, that's what we're going to do. But my thing is that this isn't the time to be combative.
Right.
It's not worth it. It really isn't. And here's the thing, right? We're not talking about the World Series. We're talking about that. Yeah, we missed out, but we missed out last year. But if we do this, I think that hopefully it'll help moving forward, because it's Mayor Duggan saying it, giving me the reasons, showing me the results of what he's done, standing in front of it every time for the past year and a half. So that's why, Mayor, like the parents, I don't like it, but I understand.
It's too bad. It's too bad that they can't trust us. Well, we're untrustable people. I mean, us humans are we're untrustable because we can't just go have a good time and mind our manners and do what we're supposed to do. We gotta overdo everything. That's just what we do.
Well, I mean, it goes back to that Men in Black quote. Like, a person is smart, people are dumb.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, a collection of people just becomes dumb. And I was talking to some of my friends, because obviously we're at the brass rail, and I wanted to reach out to them. Hey, with Duggan saying this, what is going on? Are you guys still gonna operate? And they're like, yeah, we're not the issues that they're worried about right now. Like, we've been operating with under the strict guidelines, 50% people in there, only 100 heads at a time, and they've been operating that the whole way. It's the people that are trying to do like these block parties and stuff like that on opening day, that's when they're really going to start cracking down.
Yeah, no, and that's the big thing, right? Because it's not like don't go down there if you're down there and go out, and because 50% or to 100 people, you can still. It's unfortunate for what the economy is missing out on downtown Detroit. Yes, I agree, but hopefully this will enable us to pick it up quicker, and little's better than none, I guess.
My question is, though, how are they going to enforce this? Because what Duggan said is, if you come down here without a ticket, or he said, don't come downtown Detroit without a ticket. Like, I don't see how that's enforceable. But it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to play that out and how they're going to ticket people. If they're going to have trick at 8 Mile, just check in to make sure you got tickets before you get into Detroit.
Hey, we got some sound today.
Let me call him.
We do have some sound today.
Play the sound, and I'll text Trick.
This is Mayor Duggan from earlier today, courtesy of Fox 2.
If you don't have a ticket to the game, please do not come into the city. Next year, I'm very hopeful we'll be back to a traditional opening day, which is a holiday in this town. But this year, given the fact that COVID is rising, we're going to be enforcing the rules.
And he basically went on to say we will ticket, we will even suspend licenses for restaurants if they overdo it, people on the street, whatever, man. Just, you got to watch your way tomorrow. 8,200 tickets for opening day.
Thursday, yep.
For Thursday, excuse me, for April 1st. And he said if you don't have a ticket, don't hang out. I mean, obviously, you can go to the bar. And if you wanted the first, I guess, the first 100, 50% or whatever the heck it is
it's 50%,
maxed out at 100.
but up to 100.
Up to 100.
Right.
So 100. There's plenty of bars downtown and plenty of places to watch it. And hopefully you could come and sneak into the brass rail and see us. We'll come outside and say hi to you if we have to.
Yeah, and that's really the plan. I mean, because the brass rail has been so accommodating to us, knowing that they have 100-head capacity. You know, they're allowing us to have like 5-6 people in there at a time, and then, you know, some of us will leave and some people will go back in. So we don't, you know, because like you discussed, every time that we're ahead in that bar, we're kind of taking away from that bar because they have such finite people coming in there now to make money off of. So we don't want to pull back 6% of what they're allowed in there just for us to be down there. But the brass rail has been super accommodating for us.
I'll spend money on pizza.
Yeah.
And a couple of Cokes.
Well, if you guys weren't so soft, we could sit outside in a snowsuit and do it outside the door.
Yes,
but
it's still supposed to be 39 degrees.
Yes, it's supposed to.
I'd sit outside still. Just put a coat on and be outside.
Look at this. 52 tomorrow, then 36 opening day, then 63, 64, 70, 73.
Yeah, you know why, Stick? Because it's golf season, and you know what? Big G, me doing this Monday to Friday wouldn't mess up my weekend.
Hey, the big man upstairs has got Easter looking good, though.
That's
hello.
Yeah.
It's his son's birthday, too. There's a lot of birthday. Not his birthday, his resurrection. But
that's right.
We got a lot of things going on.
Yeah, not to get crazy biblical, but they do say that Jesus was actually born in spring, even though we celebrate his birthday in December. If you really read the gospel and really read the Bible, it says he was a spring baby.
No, it makes sense. So was I.
He may have been born on your birthday, D-Mac. April Fool's Day.
You calling Jesus an April Fool, baby? That's what it is. No, it'll be whatever way it plays out. You know, hopefully everybody that's down there enjoys themselves, stays safe, and we can get through this quicker. Because here's the one thing for everybody out there like myself. Yeah, the baseball's great and stuff, but the quicker we get to this, the quicker we have concerts, the quicker we have different outdoor events, cannabis cups. We have different.
I can't wait.
I'm getting selfish.
No, that's not so. That's for me and you, homie. What do you mean selfish?
It's for all of us.
it's for everybody.
It's for everybody. But that's, you know, this is one of those things that we've done. How many times do we have to bring it up? But it's like as we're getting closer, and when we say follow the science and stuff, and you hear the CDC and you hear Dr.
numbers
Fauci,
are going up.
But so let's be responsible because we've gone this far, and it's not like she didn't say. You know, there is some activity down there. There's, you know, it's not the 3% that it was early, whatever it is. There's 8,200, so it'll be a little baby mini opening day.
Yeah, it'll be fun, man. And
better than last year.
Absolutely.
And you know, the people that are going to be down there are like diehards and great sports fans too. So like it's going to be a fun opening day. It's going to be a different opening day, but it's going to be a historical opening day. And I hope you guys can join us at the Brass Rail, not only to hang out and see the shows do their thing live, but also celebrate this man's birthday.
Oh yeah, my birthday too.
Yeah.
What kind of cake you want?
What's that?
What kind of cake you want? What, ice cream cake?
Ice cream
cake's
delicious.
Well, it might melt.
Okay.
No, it's 39 degrees. It's a perfect day for ice cream cake.
Cannabis kind.
The cannabis cake?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just bring D-Mac like a pile of edibles and he'll be happy.
Maybe I'll take an edible during the show.
Ooh.
First time ever.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking with Uncle Joey Diaz there, baby.
You know.
That would be good.
I don't know how I'm going to react, to be honest with you.
All of a sudden, Maz is making pizzas out of nowhere. Like, he's just throwing up dough. Like, no idea what's going on.
I got to be honest.
No, you know what Maz would do? He'd come back at you and what'd you say about New York? What'd you say about New York,
Here's
bro?
a New York pie. Shove it in your face, eh?
That's not how you make a pie.
Maybe I'll be out cold. Maybe I'll just be out cold. Hey, yeah, whatever,
Maz,
man.
just for your education, it would depend on, like, you could baby step in and you could be fine.
Well, whatever you took at the UFC watch party, don't give to Maz.
Dude, that was I know, chill as hell. I was on like 600 that day.
Yeah, everybody in the chat is like, is D-Mac okay? Because he's just watching the fights.
Yep.
Just like
he's looking through the fight.
No, he was intently like he was there. He was there live.
I was in the fight.
It was amazing.
You should have seen when Nagano hit Stipe and he folded his leg. I mean, my knee hurt a little bit. I thought it was there so much.
The best part is D-Mac's like, yeah, it's a $500 million, I don't know, and you could tell
it was all 500 milligrams.
Oh, yeah, right? That's what I showed you.
And then he takes off to leave and just starts watching the TV up top. And just standing there for like 5 minutes by himself. We're like, what is D-Mac doing?
I thought he was gone.
It was amazing.
No, I was watching the golf highlights.
You sure he
The TV wasn't even on, D-Mac.
There is
what
no
I mean.
TV over there.
See? And y'all wish you could be me. That's all that what it is.
No, man.
Hey, great night's sleep that night.
I bet.
So we'll baby step Maz. We won't give him that.
All right, give me something. I mean.
Yeah. Well, you guys want to get into our hook of the night?
Absolutely.
Why not?
Let's do that since that's where we are. Hook of the night, Maz. Who you got?
I'm sticking with my picks. I'm telling you right now, I'm going with USC and Michigan. That is my parlay. USC plus 8.5 now. They were 9 yesterday. I don't like over-unders. Adam loves those over-unders. I don't touch them. And I like the Michigan Wolverines to cover 6.5. They win by 9. That's my prediction.
9. Yeah, yesterday we had a little back and forth on Oklahoma State.
That's right.
And you beat me again, man.
It's okay.
No, we both
You're
beat
2-0 against me.
We both beat your ass.
Well, my problem is...
what did I do yesterday? And I told him today.
He hopped on board.
And I hopped on board because it wasn't for anything other than Maz, the way that he acted after going 4-0 on Sunday, to bring the 2-0 because he wasn't in the office. Today, he's just confident making his picks. He doesn't even know what he is. He's going to go to Fish at the end of the week, say, how'd I do this week? I'm with you again today, Maz. 2 in a row. I picked up the parlay last night also.
Good.
I believe that it's going to be Gonzaga, but USC covers the spread, and I think Michigan wins by it might be a half-point win. But
So you're going with the Zags?
No.
Okay, you're
No,
going with USC.
I'm going with the Zags
to win.
To win
the game,
Money line, right.
but not cover the spread, and I'm going with Michigan to cover the
If
spread.
you want to take a little shot, plus 350 on USC to maybe upset them. $10 wins you 35.
That's listen. Here's the $5 parlay straight up. Michigan, USC straight up for $5. See what you can get.
I don't mind that. And if you're doing it, make sure you go to mybookie.com and do it because that's where we do all our parlays and prop bets. You got to love the prop bets that are there. That's kind of my favorite part of betting. Like, this dude's going to score 14 points by 3 minutes left in the second half. Like, those random things that you just get
crazy,
incredible
man.
odds on. I love it.
I haven't even looked at the NBA or NHL slates today. I know the Red Wings are playing. We'll talk about D-Mac's keys to that game. But I'm just locked and loaded on March Madness. And guess what? In 3 more days, it's going to be the Final Four. So I'm really looking forward to it.
You know what I'm wondering?
4 days.
Hey, you know what I'm wondering out there? Give us a call at the hook. 313-552-6322. Anybody else going to have a nap before the big game tonight? Because I'm telling Maz that hopefully the general takes it a little easy on him so he can have a little bit of a nap before the game tonight because it's 10 o'clock.
You just gave a phone line out that didn't work.
I know, but I'm going to see if they're going to work.
All right, we're going to take another chance. All right, let's put the phone lines out there.
I want to see if it works.
This phone does not work, but give it a shot, folks. 313-552-6322. Look at that. We even have a lower third thanks to Lou. Give us a call.
Hey, I want to make sure that it was not an Indianapolis thing. It could be an Indiana connection thing from Tim. I want to make sure it's really not working. How do you move on from things not working and get them working? Is to figure out when they're really not working. So if I'm told to tell people to call in and they can't call in, then I'm sure as heck probably got to be fixed tomorrow. That's just DMAC math. I don't know. Accountability.
Anybody calling in, Fish? You're going to be the one answering. So
all
if they call in,
be ready.
Just again, another thing we're going to add to the caveats, whether we get it right or we get it wrong, but we're always working.
Good Fish. Fish is taking a call.
Fish is working phones, baby.
We don't know who's calling. We don't have the thing in front of us, but that's okay. Fish could tell us.
Yeah, I can probably open
that
up.
It's baby steps, guys. You know what about Bob? Baby stepping up the stairs, baby stepping to the phones.
All right, Fish, you got somebody on the line? Put them through.
Here we go.
I hate you all. Here's the caller. He should be on.
Hello?
Is this Jeff?
It's Kenneth, and it's not currently working.
Wait, yeah, it is. I can just hear him.
You heard him?
Yeah. Is this Kenneth?
All right, it's half working.
Yeah.
We thought we heard Kenneth.
Call this number to talk to Fish at least.
Yeah, you can talk to Fish.
Talk to Fish.
We can't talk to you, but Fish can talk to you.
313-552.
It's got to be something with the on air, because I can talk to the person. Oh, he hang up. I can talk to the person perfectly fine when it's
in the air.
Well, guess what? That's
when
the
I go
main
on the air,
thing is to get them on the air.
Well,
it's like when you take a reservation, you don't keep the reservation.
It's
the
not
whole
my
thing
fault.
is keeping the
No,
reservation. That's what the reservation does.
one's blaming you.
That's
Fish
the
call.
whole reason. What? That's the whole reason. It's not your fault,
Hey,
Fish.
I gotta
It's just
put-
we
hey,
gotta
let's pile
figure
more
it out.
pressure on Fish.
Listen, I got to put easy.
Listen, do you need some salt water in that tank now, buddy?
Yes,
You
I
going
do.
to-
I
you
do.
going to the ocean?
Oh,
All right.
here we go. We got another call. Hold on.
By the way, easy. Tim McCormick might V-mix call in, so be on the lookout for Tim McCormick V-mixing in. So you never know when he pops up. If he pops up, just put him up on the screen.
Yeah, no, that
it's
would
a
be
free
great.
for all right now. What the hell?
Well, with that, let's get into your news when we come back right after this break on The Hook on the Woodward Sports Network.
Morning, Art. Morning, D-Mac.
Welcome back to The Hook on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network, and thank you to everybody that's checking in right now on all of our social media at Woodward Sports. What you got, Fish?
You want to try it again?
One more time, and then that's it if it doesn't work.
Who is it?
All right, we're going on the air. Here we go.
Okay, who is it, Fish?
Hello. Hey, are you there?
Mystery caller.
Hello, caller.
All right.
South Lion.
We've got nothing.
Okay.
I heard crickets.
Okay, at least we know where it is. It's from there to here. We can work on that. We can move forward towards tomorrow and give us a shot back. But that's the whole point is we're trying to get the phone
put that
lines
number in
up.
your
We
phone.
want the communication. I would like to know who's going to have a nap. You know, use all the social media, Facebook, YouTube. Tell me if you need one before tonight's game or who's really nervous. So
Yeah.
we'll get it. We'll get it figured out. Fish. You do the best job in here, so it's never going to be you, brother.
I try.
I try. Well, let's do Maz's sports update. What you got, Maz?
I can do that, fellas. Thank you, Stick. Our update, as always, brought to you by the good people at MyBookie. Don't forget to use the promo code Woodward. They match your first deposit 50%, halfway up to $1,000. March Madness continuing right here on a Tuesday night. Just the way we penned it up here during COVID. 2 games in the Elite Eight. Top seed Gonzaga leads it off against number 6 USC. They'll go at 7-15. Zags favored by 8.5. They're trying to become the first team to go undefeated since the 76 Indiana Hoosiers did it. And, of course, they beat the Michigan Wolverines that night. I did not like that, by the way. Michigan and UCLA, and I was in Jersey at the time. Michigan and UCLA in the nightcap. Wolverines, a 6.5-point favorite. Michigan will join Baylor and Houston in the Final Four on Saturday. The winners, of course, will join Baylor and Houston in the Final Four on Saturday. Baylor beat Arkansas yesterday, 81-72. They're in the Final Four, first time in 71 years. The Cougars beat Oregon State, 67-61. They're in it for the first time since 84. Phi Slamma Jamma won it back then. Pistons snapped a 4-game losing streak last night, beating the Raptors. They swept them again. For Dwayne Casey, his old team, NBA Draft Lottery, June 22nd. I forgot to tell you the Blazers are in town tomorrow. NBA Draft Lottery, June 22nd. Pistons, one of the worst records in the league, so they got a good shot maybe at getting that number 1 pick, or at least in the top 5. They supposedly have a really good shot to get the number 5 pick. The draft itself on July 29th. Red Wings looking for 3 straight wins. Tough one tonight. They're in Florida against the Panthers. D-Max keys to victory coming up. And the Tigers finished up their Grapefruit League season. They lose to the Rays 5-0 in 7 innings tonight. They head north now. Tigers finished the Grapefruit League at 13-12. Casey Mize, 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, and he struck out 6. He's made the big club. He is the 5th starter as we speak now, and we heard it just a couple of minutes ago. Mayor Duggan of Detroit advising fans without tickets to opening day to stay out of the city. 8,200 fans allowed in the stadium, and we will be at the Brass Rail, all of our shows. Come down and say hello to us. Only a block and a half away from Comerica Park. Great pizza. On this day in sports, we go 30 years ago today. Believe it or not, Duke will pull the major upset. That's right, Duke over UNLV. Right there.
Right there. Wow, what a shot.
Right there.
What a shot.
Right, Easy? Right there.
Right now.
Right there. You're going to see Bobby Hurley. He's going to be ecstatic any second now once Easy finds the cuts I sent him 8 hours ago. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. Okay, we're going to move on.
Can you reenact it for us, man?
Yeah, I can. Not really. I don't really want to. I'm not in the mood right now.
Give me a layup.
I lost my mood.
Give me something.
I'm out of the mood.
Give me something.
And I even had a Can you put up Secretariat's picture at least? Can you do that for me?
That's
Happy
a horse.
51st birthday to my hero, Secretariat, the 73 Triple Crown champion. Yes, he's my hero still.
No, I know, but you're wishing happy. There's no way this horse is still alive.
No, he passed away in 89.
Okay. I'm like, why are we wishing happy birthday?
Excuse me. Listen.
The Triple Crown winner. Here comes Secretariat to the wire. An unbelievable, an amazing performance. He hits the finish 25 lengths.
Look at that.
It's going to be twice a first.
Oh damn, man! I had to trifecta for this one, but I mixed the second and third. I should have boxed it.
Look at Penny Tweedy, the owner. Look how happy she was. If you never watched Secretariat the movie, please do. It's a phenomenal story.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Look at this. By the way, he was Time's Man of the Year that year in 1973. Time Magazine.
Here, let me give
they've
you.
gotten it wrong before.
Let me give you a little bit of a minute here to explain to people what they just saw, because they saw a horse win in a race that by a length that you would never
No, 25 lengths ahead at the Belmont Stakes. No one could run with this animal. Big Red. He passed away at 19 years old.
Okay.
Horses usually live a lot longer than that. When they did the autopsy or the necropsy or whatever the hell they called it, his heart weighed 23 pounds. And it was 2.5 times the size of a regular horse's heart.
Well, it makes
and in perfect condition, by the way.
But it makes sense because the Belmont is the toughest, the last.
It's the race of a champion,
right? Because it's 2 miles, right?
It's a mile and a half.
It's a mile and a half. It's the longest one, but that's to see. That makes sense. His heart was 2.5. So he's pumping blood.
2.5 times the size.
He's got the Mustang engine in the front of that Big Red, but he was and to be named Athlete of the Year.
Yeah, and Man of the Year for Time.
That's incredible.
That's
incredible.
I have that magazine hanging up.
Can you
at
imagine
home.
sitting in the Time office like, hey, guys, who do you want to vote for Man of the Year this year? Well, the men haven't done shit. What about this horse?
No, wait.
You want to give it to a horse?
How about Secretariat? But is that the Man of the Year? No,
Right.
it's a male horse.
And technically he's owned by a woman, so we can't give it to her. You know. Please
just remember,
isolate
Maz
that.
Hates Tuesdays on TB12.
Yeah, two live, man. Let's do that. All right, Two Live Luke's gonna isolate.
I'm
Maz,
sweating, man.
Maz being the horse.
Oh God. By the way, did you know 30 years ago today that Duke pulled off a shocker over UNLV?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Was that the Bobby Hurley?
Yes, the Bobby Hurley. Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, here it is! Can we hear it? It's not worth hearing without hearing it.
The glass, no, he went for the swish. Leitner with the rebound. Hunt will have to do something. Force it three.
Look at Grandmama.
Hurley's got it. Duke has done it. Duke has upset UNLV.
Calm down.
And yes, Bobby Hurley, you have been part of one of the biggest upsets in the history of the NCAA tournament.
Wow. Grant Hill and the boys and Coach K, man. But when you say Duke and upset, you don't think they're the team that's doing the upset. But UNLV was like a pro team.
But you saw how young this team was.
Yep.
You know that and the stars that they had, and the young Bobby Hurley, Christian Leighton, or Grant Hill. You know, it's crazy. 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It's always
30 years
crazy
ago.
to me when guys are so good in college but don't translate to the pros like that. Like Hurley was almost transcendent in college, and then, you know, nothing.
But it's
really
like,
much
you
about
know,
Played
it.
at St. Anthony's in Jersey City,
In
New
hockey,
Jersey.
it's like that.
Is it?
Well, more so used to be a lot where like a lot of the guys dominate in junior, but it was when I came up, it was because they were smaller guys, so it didn't translate into the game. Now you see it in hockey, so maybe more so, and you see how guys translate in all different sports, but just because they're great in college doesn't necessarily mean they'll be pros.
Right. Yeah. I know you see it in the NFL too. Heisman Trophy winners that don't Eric Crouch. They got a Heisman Trophy
You
winning
can go on
quarterback.
and on with
Tim
the
Tebow,
Heisman.
right?
Yeah, you can go on and on. That's what worries me about Devontae Smith. He's little in stature. The guy is terrific. Great player. Will he be a great NFL star?
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. I hope the Lions.
If I'm the Lions,
I
don't want them to take him.
Nope.
I like him. And I don't want him to take Jamar Chase either. He sit out a year. I got Mike Williams disease.
I was going to say, we did this with Charles Rogers and Mike Williams.
We're like abused dogs. We are. We're abused dogs. Okay. Don't take the tight end either.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
I don't mind.
Guys,
I'm just saying. That's what we worry about.
But you shouldn't, because who's making the decisions right now?
I got it.
It's the same thing as why when Mayor Duggan brings out this order, why everybody's sort of, this sucks, but it's like they're gonna hide just because of the way that he's carried himself through the whole time. I know it sucks, but it just, it has to be that way.
And like Maz called it an edict earlier, and I looked that up. An official order or proclamation issued by a person in authority.
Wow.
So once again,
I hit it right on the
nailed
button.
it.
You squalor, you edict.
You better come up with one now.
What'd you say to me? We got Chris McCoskey on the line right now, the Detroit Tigers beat writer, and we're going to talk to him next on the Woodward Sports Network. Hey, it's Stick, and I am live right now inside Grow Green. If you go to growgreenmi.com right now, take advantage of their dank deals. They got everything so you can grow the best possible product you can. Even nutrients, water, and look, you just turn around and your very own. Now that he's fully bloomed, he's beautiful and ready to go. Thank you, Grow Green, for supplying us with everything we need.
Hey, gang, it's Maz for Hall Financial. Interest rates are starting to fluctuate, so now's the time to call Hall Financial. You don't know what's going to happen next, so be smart. Make the call now while rates are low, because you can be saving money and years, just like I did. I was down to 2.5 on my rate, and I also knocked down my years to just 15. I might just pay that house off one of these days. Hall Financial is fast. They do all the heavy lifting for you, so try them out. DavidHallMortgage.com now to get started. Not only that, his dad, Dr. Hall, he delivered all three of my girls. So good people.
Nice.
The Hall family are great people. Hall Financial, lower payments, better options, more personal attention. Tell them Maz sent you.
Beautiful. And the Tigers, you said in your news update, they're closing up opening day, or not opening day, they're closing up preseason and
They
spring
did it today.
training. This
They
was
did
their
it
last
today.
game. They finished with a winning record.
They did 13-12, but they got mercy today. They quit after 7 innings. Only lost 5.
That was a mail-it-in.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
get up
I'm
north.
joking.
They already had the
Couldn't wait to
winning
get to the
record locked
snow.
in.
Casey Mize looked good again.
Well,
struck out 9 last week, struck out 6 today.
He does look good. He looked good last year, too, in minimal
Yeah.
starts. Chris McCoskey, the Detroit News Tigers beat writer, on the line with us. Hey, Chris, welcome to the hook.
Thanks, man. This is quite a setup you guys have.
Thanks, Chris.
Hi, Darren.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
We got to have you in here one of these days live, just like you do with Dan Dickerson on the radio. You're sounding great.
Oh, no, he makes it easy. You know that. He's the pro. I do enjoy that, though. We have a pretty good banter. He's too much of an analytic head for me, man. I gotta get him back on this.
I call him the geek. He is the king geek, and he takes it to heart.
100%.
That's it.
That's not an insult anymore.
No. He takes that as a compliment. That's a compliment, Chris. All right, tell us about this new roster we're looking at. A guy like Akil Baddoo, a Rule 5 guy, making it on this roster and knocking off somebody. The kid hit 5 home runs, young, 22 years old. Tell us a little about him and about everything else going on with the team.
Well, the amazing thing about Baddoo is he hadn't played in 2 years, and he's only played his last professional at bat came against A-ball pitching, high A-ball pitching. And for him to come in and be poised and not overwhelmed at all and play like he did was amazing. And it forced a lot of hard decisions because there's no way any manager in baseball wants to carry 5 outfield-only players on a 26-man roster. It really causes some problems, but he was too good to cut. And you know the drill with Rule 5. If they cut him, they got to send him back to the Twins. So they don't want to do that and risk having him beat them for 5 years. The thing is now it changes. Everything changes. He's been playing every day. He's been playing against teams and pitches that haven't game planned against him. He's going to be a role player now, not play a lot, and people are going to have scouting reports. So the whole landscape changes for him. But he's an exciting talent. And if they can find a way to carry him all year, that's a real bonus for them going forward.
We're talking to Chris McCoskey, obviously beat writer for the Tigers. You wrote an article today in the paper that talked about A.J. Hinch coming in and the culture of how the older guys and the younger guys sort of buying in. Can you elaborate to what the message has been, because I think it's something that what I preach around here is where's the culture coming from and setting the foundation. And it seems like AJ Hinch is getting the response not only from his top player Miguel Cabrera, but down the line to some of these younger guys. So what is it about AJ Hinch that he is the guy for the job?
Well, first of all, just like with Scotty and you guys, he's coming in with rings. He's been in 2 World Series, he's got 1 ring. He has that immediate credibility. He's, 5 straight winning seasons. That's right out of the gate. But his energy, his ability to communicate is like I've dealt with a lot of coaches and managers over my time. He's special that way. He's direct. He's not just always patting you on the back. He'll kick you in the butt. But everybody's bought in because his message is, look, we're not going to beat you with a 3-run homer. Look at our roster. It's not going to happen. Look at our ballpark. It's not going to happen. We got to find different ways to win. We're going to play aggressively. He preaches 2 things, versatility and aggression and putting pressure. He calls it a culture of pressure. He wants to, on the bases and defense, he wants the pitchers to pitch aggressively. I mean, it's kind of fun baseball if they can put it all together. But, it comes back to, can you get on base to be aggressive on the bases? Can you get outs to be aggressive pitching? You know what I mean? So it all goes back to the talent eventually. But his messages, they're going to play aggressive, hard-nosed, in-your-face baseball. And he's not afraid to take risks, not afraid to fail. So, I mean, all those things put together, it's been pretty eye-opening, this whole camp.
So they got the starting rotation down. We've been hearing a lot about the position players. One position I haven't heard a lot about is the bullpen. What is that looking like, shaping up going into the season? Because as you know, as a Tigers fan, bullpen has been a pain in our butt for a long time. How's our bullpen shaping up so far?
Not bad.
On paper, it could be the strength of the team.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, if things work out but here's the downside of that. And I always got these downsides because, it's how we roll. But the downside is they might be overused. If the starting pitching doesn't do what they're supposed to do, then you overuse your bullpen, and no bullpen can survive that. But when you talk about, nobody's talking about Gregory Soto because he's had a history of wildness and being erratic. But he's a left-handed pitcher who throws 99 to 100 with a wipeout slider. Now, who does that sound like? That's Aroldis Chapman, right? In a nutshell. He's got Aroldis Chapman stuff. No joke. He just got to, if he puts it in the strike zone like he has been and like he did for a good stretch last year, I mean, he's as dominant as you get at the back end of that bullpen. You got guys like Buck Farmer back there. Jose Cisnero, nobody talks about either, but all he does is get people out. He's 96, 97, and he's learned to pitch up in the zone, which is huge. So you get him. Brian Garcia was the closer at the end of last year. I don't think he will be this year, but he'll be in the late inning mix. And then they got 4 veteran guys who had been starters because you're going to have to eat up a lot of innings coming off the pandemic year. So with Tyler Alexander, Daniel Norris, Michael Fulmer, and one other long guy that I'm free, Derek Holland, who won a job, veteran Derek Holland. So it's a pretty intriguing group. And there's a lot of guys in the minor leagues that will be up. Guys we'll see like Alex Lang, who you don't know a lot about, but throws 97 with a nasty curveball. And another guy that's coming on strong, Logan Shore, who also throws hard and lives up in the zone. So they got some arms coming, and there's some arms here. That's a bright spot.
Hey, Chris McCoskey joins us here on Woodward Sports on the Hook. Of course, beat writer for the Detroit News. He works for the Tigers, been doing it for a long time, been on a lot of beats, but I know he loves his baseball. And, Chris, I wanted to ask you, what happened to Joe Jimenez?
Man, he lost a couple yards off his fastball. When he was dominant, he was 96 with that sinker. Now he's 93, and he's trying to kind of refashion himself with the slider and a breaking ball, and he's not taking to it not well at all. He had a bad spring. He had a bad season, 2 bad seasons, really. So he's got to figure out who he is as a pitcher, and I don't think unless he can find a way to get that fastball back and or figure out a way to live up in the zone. That's the thing nowadays with guys with the launch angles, hitters with the launch angles. If you can live hard up in the zone, guys can't touch that ball. So that's a big point of emphasis that AJ and Chris Fetter have put on. And if Joe can adapt that, he might get back here. But right now, he's got to find himself. He's going through an identity crisis.
All right, Chris, let's get to the big man, Miguel Cabrera. Obviously, the big joke is always, well, he's in the great shape and training camp and stuff like this. But I've been hearing a lot of different things out of his mouth. What type of year do you expect from seeing training camp? And you've seen Miguel Cabrera do this before, but the fact that he's playing first base, the fact that AJ Hinch wants him to play first base. What kind of season do you expect from Miguel Cabrera?
To be a good season, a productive season. But when I say that and talk about Miguel Cabrera, everybody thinks 40 home runs, 100 RBIs. I don't know that guy's there anymore. I think he can hit close to 300. I think he can hit 20 home runs, and I think he can knock in a bunch of runs. He's got to stay healthy, and this is where playing first base is a double-edged sword. I mean, he's rejuvenated. He's bouncing around like a little kid. He plays a good first base as well. There's ever been anything wrong with his hands. Range is not great, but his hands have always been good. So he can play first base. The question is, his knee injury or his chronic knee pain hasn't gone away. That's still bone on bone in that right knee, guys. So when he's on the field and on his feet that long, that's going to take a toll. So that's got to be something they monitor really sharply and keenly, because it doesn't take much for him to be knocked out of the lineup for a while. And that's where everybody's going to kind of hold their breath with that. But it's going to be fun watching him chase those milestones. That's going to be a big part of the summer. It's going to be a big part of the dialogue going forward with the Tigers.
Yeah, we mentioned Miguel Cabrera actually playing in the field this year, which they kind of pulled him away from last year. And it is a risk-reward situation. Is the Tigers feeling that getting him more involved in the game and having him more active hopefully will lead to more hits? Is that kind of why they're going with this approach, or is it just because he's the best player available for first base?
It's a whole bunch of different things. It's also about, if Mickey's just locked in at DH, then they have no flexibility. The DH is a great position for flexibility. When you got 5 outfielders and you have a catcher like Wilson Ramos who's not going to catch 150 games, having a DH availability is a good spot for Ramos to plug in when Grayson Griner catches. The DH position is a good place to plug in one of those fifth outfielders when they need to get at bats. So when you're talking about just a lot of flexibility and to move the infielders around, Jonathan Scope might play some at first base. Nico's going to play some at first base. Harold Castro. So like I told you, Hinch's big buzzword is versatility. So he wants to move these guys around and play matchup games with teams every night. I mean, every night. They're not just about a series. It's every night. So to have Miggy play first base 2 or 3 times a week opens that up for him to do. And that's as much of it as anything. Obviously, Miggy came out at the end of last year. He only talked to us like once last year, and it was through the Tigers interpreter. We had to ask the question, so it wasn't even directly. Yeah. But his big point was he wanted to play first base, and he wasn't joking. He wanted to get back. He wants to be a complete player again, keep himself in the game. And so they facilitated that, and I think that's good. I also think risk.
When they owe him $60-some-odd million in the next 2 years, you might as well try to make the guy as happy as possible. I wanted to talk to you about his comments a few weeks ago when he came out and said he didn't give a damn that A.J. Hinch won the World Series with the Astros and they cheated, and everyone knows it now. What's your take on that? And is Hinch still getting asked a lot about that? And do you think that's going to go on throughout this year?
Man, where do you say that? I never heard that.
Oh, come on now. Come on, Chris.
Seriously, where were those comments? He never said that in any
Miguel Cabrera,
session.
He told ESPN's reporter, the ESPN reporter, he said, I don't give a damn that A.J. Hinch won those World Series the way they did. Astros were a true champion. They won it with their talent. And it was, I forgot the girl's name. She was there sitting on a stool right next to him. And Marley, that's right. It was her. Yeah, and he told her he didn't care about the cheating.
Well, no, I think that's here. So that's what I thought you were asking me something completely different. No, the Tigers don't care about that because, Hinch has handled that situation about as well as you could. First of all, he wasn't the one putting the trash can there, setting all that up. He took full responsibility for not stopping it. He didn't shy away from that. He's answered that question every time it's come up. He's trying to keep that away from the Tigers. That's not the Tigers' problem. He said that over and over. It's his problem. It's on his resume, not theirs. And, you got to remember, too, Miggy's best friend in the world, one of them is Jose Altuve. And he's not going to do anything to take away that dude's ring. I mean, he's not going to put an asterisk next to that dude's ring. So, and he's saying what you expect him to say.
Yeah.
They won that. That was a very good baseball team. That was a very, very good baseball team for 5 years.
I know they won.
And they didn't cheat all 5 years either. They cheated in 17 mostly. So
well, we don't know that. So we can say whatever. But you're looking at a guy that follows the Yankees. I was a Yankee fan, and I can never get that out of my head when Altuve hit that home run to beat them. And don't touch my jersey. I'll never get that out of my head. Ever.
Yeah,
then he
you got to
disappears.
go to therapy for that, man. You got to go to therapy. Seriously, you got to let that go. So much else going on.
That's number 576, Chris, in there. That has to
add
get
it to the list.
I'm sorry, man. That's just a stain. That's a stain to me. Nonetheless, we'll move on. What do you think of the rules as far as putting a runner on second base and extra innings, and of course, no DH, the idiots in the National League? Please tell me your thoughts on those, or maybe you like that.
Well, way to set up the question, Maz. I mean,
the idiots.
I don't know where you're going with that.
Yeah,
no,
that's
but
okay.
You're right about the DH. I hate pitchers batting. I think the DH makes perfect sense for both leagues. And everybody who gets all steamy over double shifts and double switches. And, I mean, come on, man. That's whatever. I'm not about that. I think now pitchers are getting hurt because they're getting hurt because they don't do it enough. So when they swing, they rip their oblique. It's just crazy. It doesn't make any sense. And they use it for a bargaining chip, which is even worse. I mean, if you're gonna mess around like that and use that as leverage in a bargaining situation, that's sad to me. I mean, I've come to accept putting a guy in second base and making the extra innings shorter. I hate it. I'm kind of I don't know if you probably can't tell, but I'm older than dirt. But I'm kind of like. I kind of like old baseball and traditional baseball a little bit, but I've come around on it. I'm the one that's got to be there writing that stuff up for 6-7 hours if they go 13, 14, 15 innings. So I guess I can live with that one a little bit. But they better not start messing around with eliminating pickoff moves and shortening the bases and moving the mound back. I mean, my goodness. What do we do? Let's just play coach pitch, Let's make the ball bigger. I don't know if
they're deadening the ball. Did you read that they're deadening the ball this year?
Yeah, that's all. That's really minuscule.
Okay.
I don't even know if we'll be able to tell the difference because we could tell the difference in the playoffs last year. But that's not a big deal. I'm talking about messing with the fundamental intrinsic stuff in the game, like 90 feet, 90 feet, 60 feet 6 inches, that kind of stuff. You can't hold a runner on. Come on now.
Yeah, they won't change that. They won't change that, Chris. They won't. But what I really wish they would have stuck with was the extra playoff team. I wish they would have had the extra playoff team, and I wish they would have made the season 150 games. I mean, eventually, to me, that's what I want. I want 150 games and an extra playoff game, extra playoff. There's the owners. We'll give you your money back at the end of the year, but let another playoff team in and take away 12 games at least.
Well, you might get your wish on the playoffs because they got until Thursday to wasn't it last year on the opening day that they decided to expand playoffs? They could do that again.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think I'm the only one up here that likes pitchers hitting. I'm learning that right now. You guys claim to be old school baseball fans, but the DH was put in after baseball was invented. There's no more old school than players playing.
Listen, I'm old school too. Stick, but take a look around, take the temperature of the world. This is 2021, right? They're trying to speed the game up by the pitchers and this, and it's only the evolution of the game to make it more of a universal game. And if you want to because it's the slowness, it's the methodicalness of the old school that today in today's day and age where it's now, it's not fast enough to pick up the new fans. They need the DH, not for us old guys. They need it for the new fans and how the game works, like all these moves. So,
I just want an extra hitter. I want Edgar Martinez batting. I want Victor Martinez batting. You wouldn't have those guys.
Why are you guys being so rude? I'm so happy that our buddy Chris McCoskey is the extra inning second base guy doesn't keep him at the ballpark for 15 innings for 162 kids. So maybe he gets home a little bit earlier to save some sleep.
Using position players as pitchers.
Right, that's it. Whatever makes your job easier, Chris, let me know. I'll bring it up to Commissioner Maz away because it seems like Maz knows all the different things to change, but hopefully it makes it better. I like Maz. I like 150. Like you said, more playoff teams, but more playoff teams, more things to fight for seems to be how you're going to bring people to this game.
Yeah, I like that. I like the expanded playoffs. I thought that worked really well last year.
Yeah, it was fun.
But again, 60 game sample size.
I enjoyed that sprint. I really did. I loved it, as a matter of fact. I want less games in all regular season, except NFL. NFL could play 18 games. Baseball, 150 max. Hockey, 60. Basketball, 60. You're playing 28 playoff games, 35 playoff games anyway. Just leave it, man. More playoffs, less regular season. My take.
Boom. Cash it. Let's go.
Like
we'll get it.
Thanks.
We'll get
Hey,
it.
Chris, thanks a million for coming on, man. We're looking forward to hopefully seeing you. Maybe we could sneak into the press box on Thursday or on Friday. Oh, no, it's Thursday, right? Thursday. Maybe we could sneak in there. They're kind of keeping it tight these days.
Miles will be down there Wednesday. See ya.
Okay, you guys. Thanks for having me on,
Chris.
fellas. I appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Chris. Make sure you read him in the Detroit News. Chris McCoskey, Detroit News Tigers beat writer. And he wrote a great article today on A.J. Hinch and how he is taking this team. He's got the old guys behind him, and the young guys are looking at him. Well, we got lucky getting this guy. I really believe that.
Yeah, I think Hitch is a hell of a manager. You just hate the baggage that he comes with, and like the difference between him and Cora in the situation. I didn't think Hinch owned up to it fast enough and hard enough at first, but since then he has. He's done his thing. But at first, I didn't love the Hinch hire because of that. I didn't think he owned up to what his role was. It was more putting it on other guys. Like, yeah, I kind of knew about it, but what did you want me to do? It's like, you're the coach. Do something.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt. But, he's walked it back since then, taken more responsibility, and that's all you can ask of somebody who makes a mistake.
You know what? I didn't know. I heard
there you go. I concur.
Concur. Yes.
I was waiting.
The other day, you said something about baseball managers wearing uniforms and they can go on. They could play.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? That's why. Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Unless they changed it.
So you're telling me old Casey Stengel, when he was 90 years old with the Mets, he could have went on the field?
I believe. I mean, unless I've been lied to my whole life, but yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
We'll have to double check that fact. But I like that fact that you gave me the other day.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't check it on my own. I just believed you.
You should believe me.
I do.
Yeah, so I'll research this while we're in break. But when we come back, we got Me Gusta or No Me Gusta. And since we were just talking to Chris McCoskey, we're going to make it around the Tigers. And we'll do that next on The Hook.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys. And ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
Hey guys out there, every day is game day in March. Look your best through all the madness. Even before tonight, you got time to get, before this Michigan game tonight, get a haircut. Check out the newest Lady Jane's on the corner of Grand River and Whitmore Lake Road in Brighton, or our Grand Blank location on Saginaw Street next to AutoZone. Let one of Lady Jane's award-winning stylists treat you like a king. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Love that. Great job on that wicked awesome read. Welcome back to The Hook on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick, filling in with Pilar. She will be back tomorrow, so she will do Me Gusta and No Me Gusta much better than I will, but we can still play the game.
We can.
Me Gusta or No Me Gusta, fellas? Miguel Cabrera should be the Tigers' regular season first baseman. Maz, start it off with you.
For opening day, yes, Me Gusta. No Me Gusta for the remaining part of the season. And you heard Chris McCoskey saying he's got bone on bone in his knee and his right leg. The guy turns more doubles and triples into singles than any player in the majors. He's got a heart. I get it. But the body is not helping him. You can't play first base. It's 162 games. 162, man. You want to play it? Maybe play it for 80 games. Max. 80 games max at first base. Not every single day. I'm sorry. You're going to have to learn how to just sit in the dugout and go look at video like Victor Martinez did in between innings and get some hits for us. And we're going to pinch run you a lot probably late in the game. But no Me Gusta. I'm playing first base every day for Miguel Cabrera.
I'm going to go Me Gusta on Maz's comment. Not on that comment, but I agree 100% with you, Maz, that if we can find a way, I think Chris McCoskey, who's a beat writer for the Tigers, had just told us that Miggy's knee, right, as the season goes on and not about training camp, but as the season goes, you gain weight and put pressure on that knee. So hopefully what can be done is we see them with the flow of, okay, he plays a couple days a week at first base, not back-to-back. Obviously the versatility that A.J. Hinch has talked about. So whatever keeps his bat in the lineup, but as long as he's happy and he knows, right, that these 80 games he can be, because it sounds like he wants to be a part of it. And when he gets to be the DH, sometimes you can get all mopey Miggy and just like he's not as much a part of it. So I think if there's that communication there, which there will be, that he knows that when he does play, that it's a big part of it. So, but I agree, no Magusta on full time. I don't think that his body can handle it.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. No me gusta for me as well. I don't want him out there full-time, maybe a platoon, make sure that he's involved in the game, because I think Miggy is a better player when he's playing the game. You see how happy he is, like when an Altuve comes to first base and he gets to rub his head or like poke him, and that's baseball. When you grow up playing that way, when you take that part of it, you're just sitting there between innings, just like pine tar in your bat. Like, you know, maybe an hour between each at bat. That's a tough existence.
Well, Matt,
really
you had your time at the end of the bench.
Oh, but that's different though. It's different because you sit there, but you're in the action. So, I mean, I was more like a bench coach, but I would get on the ice. Later in my career, I don't let those guys play. I don't want to play. I want to sit there and make sure that they can play, chirp at the guy, or have a conversation. I sit there. Larry Murphy's there. He's got the video because he's doing Fox, so I can look and see the replays and yell at somebody for doing something or keep accountability. That's me. He still wants to play.
Yeah.
Me, he was happy to be there.
Man, they owe him so much money, guys. So much.
But you knew it would come down to this part.
I know.
Yeah. You paid him for what he did, not what he was going to do when he signed that contract.
And think about this, like, right? And I agree. You know, he's seen his better days and stuff like this. But again, they set their flag around Miguel Cabrera as being their guy. Without him, then we just have a rotating bunch of Tigers, right? You know what I'm saying? We have no culture.
Right.
We still have Miguel Cabrera, last Triple Crown winner. He's still got, right, something where we get excited. We all here know that the Tigers probably won't make the playoffs. We're fine with that because we're looking for progress. But what we are looking forward to is Miguel Cabrera hitting 13 home runs. And we're all going to watch the calendar. That's what baseball, the milestones. To hear Chris McCoskey say that it'll be an exciting year to watch him chase down these milestones, that's what is going to motivate Miggy to stay healthy and to be in the lineup. So we'll talk about it more as it comes closer. But that's the exciting part for me for this year.
Let's figure this out. Fish, I'm putting you on this. Last year, he hit 10 in 60 games.
Yep.
So 6, 12, 180. So figure he probably would have had about 25. Okay.
Wait,
so
where's the fire extinguisher?
So if he hit 10 in 60, he'll hit 13 in, let's say, 75. So I want you to go to the series that are close between 65 and 75 games and let's try to pick the series out and predict when he's going to do it. And maybe buy tickets for that series.
4th of July weekend would be perfect, and that's right there.
Is it? Yeah, but that'll be interesting, and it'll be as we watch because we know how Miggy goes, right? I mean, anybody who watched, he hit an oppo fielder yesterday on one of those little bat flicks, so we've seen him do it to right field. So it'll be exciting, especially. Opening day is always exciting, whether or not you're down there, whether or not it just kicks off something new.
Birth of summer,
man. It's the spring, it's the weather, and usually, I remember 94 opening day. We rode our Harleys down there, and it was as cold as it's supposed to be the next day. So don't ride your Harleys down on Thursday. It's supposed to snow.
Awesome. To go back to the point about the managers wearing jerseys, just to get this out of the way, the earliest years of the game in the 19th century, a person who was called the manager of the team was the business manager. He was also the person that made sure the receipts were paid and that the train schedules were met. He didn't make any decisions about what went on during the game. The person who did that was called the captain. He did what the manager does today, but he also played. So at first, the person who we would call the manager today wore a uniform because he was a participant in the game.
How about that.
Yeah.
So they started with player manager.
Yep, exactly. So baseball's just so fun.
It
Little
is.
facts like that.
I remember the last player manager, I think, was Frank Robinson for the Cleveland Indians, if I'm not mistaken.
It could be, and they said.
Or was it Pete Rose?
Some believe that baseball rules mandate this, although there's only one rule actually touching this. It says, quote, all players on a team shall wear the uniform identical in color, trim, and style. All players' uniforms shall include minimal 6-inch numbers on their backs. It says nothing about what the manager should wear.
Okay.
So it's not a rule. It's just an unwritten baseball
Can you
rule.
imagine just these guys in the dugout with a suit on?
It's
like
just
Connie
weird.
Mack back in the day. Wore a suit.
No, more than not, these guys dress like Belichick. You know what I mean? They have the
Hoodie,
pullover,
right.
the hoodie, the whatever, the latest. Don't you, Maz? I know Maz does this. When you look at different teams or whatever, you look at a lot of their base coaches or their managers to see what the new swag is.
Of course.
Because they all have to. Trust me, all the new swag comes out. What's the new spring jacket?
Yeah,
what's the new pullover?
I'm constantly looking at pullovers and jackets. Constantly.
It's you. Look at managers. Managers and coaches are usually the ones that have them
What
first.
you got, Fish?
Game 65 to Game 70 is at the Royals and then at the Angels.
All right, what's the next home
When
stand
is it?
after
In
that?
June or July?
June 14th.
Okay.
June 22nd is versus the Cardinals.
And then how about the next home series?
Versus Cardinals, Houston, and then at Cleveland.
Okay.
So end of June, early July.
Yep.
So
July 4th would be a fun weekend to do it, man.
So if your math is right, Maz, it's the home Cardinals Houston series, right?
So everybody get on board when those tickets go on sale. I think only April tickets are on sale right now. So
okay,
they're gonna that's why they do it. They're gonna time it, and of course those tickets will be a little bit more pricey.
Well, let's get into a little bit of Red Wings talk. Not only do they play tonight, we got story time with D-Mac coming up next on The Hook.
Hey, it's Stick, and I am live right now inside Grow Green. If you go to growgreenmi.com right now, take advantage of their dank deals. They got everything so you can grow the best possible product you can. Even nutrients, water, and look, you just turn around, and your very own. Now that he's fully bloomed, he's beautiful and ready to go. Thank you, Grow Green, for supplying us with everything we need.
Can grow your very own Joey. Wouldn't that be nice to grow Joey?
I like how Joey has things in his pockets still during this commercial. I mean, couldn't you empty couldn't you empty your pockets, Joey? You got these 2 lumps on the side of your leg.
That's
Those
not
are
things in his
nutrients,
pockets.
man. Those are nutrients, and what makes them
They're like
grow.
thorns. They're more like thorns.
Well,
No,
exactly.
Joey be packing, man. That's all. That's all. So, welcome back to The Hook on the Woodward Sports Network. It's about time we start talking hockey because we have Mr. Hockey. Well, not in a disrespectful way.
No.
To me, hockey.
Whatever.
You're not Mr.
Penalty
Hockey,
box.
but you know what I
Guy
meant by
knows his way
saying
around the
that.
penalty
I wasn't
box.
calling you Mr. Hockey.
No,
but-
don't do that.
But you
please.
are the hockey Mr.
He's our Mr. Hockey.
Yeah,
There he is.
There you go. So Maz. So D-Mac,
what can I do for you?
Let's get into your 3 keys for the Red Wings to win tonight and against Florida.
All right, guys. Here are the keys tonight. Obviously, Detroit Red Wings coming off of back-to-back home victories against Columbus Blue Jackets. Probably not only Saturday, their first game was their best 60-minute performance, but when you can follow it up, it's sort of the same thing we were talking about earlier is what we're looking for the Michigan Wolverine basketball team to go. First key, keep the killer instinct going. We're going to look at some of the plays. We're not looking at some of the plays, but obviously the keep your killer instinct going. Take advantage of Florida injuries, right? Florida is missing their number one, actually Windsor native, great kid, Aaron Ekblad. He's out with a left leg fracture. Horrific injury the other night in Dallas. Thank goodness he's all right. And Alexander Barkov, who to me is one of the most underrated players in this league. He's their captain. He's out for another few games. So take advantage of them not having their 2 top guys. And whether it's Calvin Pickard or Thomas Greiss coming in, Calvin Pickard's won back-to-back. Don't know if he's going to be the hot hand to go with, but guys have played well in front of them. What they have to do is build on this and don't rest on their laurels. I think what you've seen is the way they've come out of the gates is that they've attacked. You saw Svechnikov use his skill scoring the game winner last game. You've seen what the guys did, a couple empty net goals. Michael Rasmussen getting on the board. This is the way that the Wings have to play. They got to play gritty, hard, 60-minute game. They're going to go off early before the Michigan basketball team. Hopefully they can set the tone with the way to come out of the game. So the 3 keys, keep it going, injuries, take advantage, and goaltending, stay hot. Those are my 3 keys to the game.
Love it. And if they do that, they should get that W tonight against Florida.
Hey, you know what today marks? Tonight marks the official end of Fox Sports Detroit. They've been around since 1997. Their new name will be Bally's Sports Detroit.
Pine Knob.
Yeah, it makes me think of the old
Pine Knob.
Bally's gym that used to be over by 12 Oaks.
Well, this is something we're going to have to get used to.
No, it's not. That's fine.
Fox
They can
Sports
be
Detroit.
Bally's. We're Woodward Sports. That's all I care about in this damn town. Let's get to story time with my man, D-Mac. D-Mac, you got a story today about who?
Well, we'll see.
We'll see? Uh-oh. Love it.
Thank you, Ben. Now, today's story time, guys, is I'm just going to take this that sometimes people ask a lot. This isn't particularly about one person, but this is about things that go on. I was asked the other day, are there ever any rude fans? And I started in about the one guy in L.A. behind the bench. But sometimes, for a guy who spent a lot of time in the penalty box, you know, different things can happen. Now, in honor of Maz, even though it didn't happen on this day, it happened yesterday, I believe 20 years ago. And for somebody whose name that gets brought up when we're talking about fighting, and you see that story time has the Bob Probert, has my D-Mac pullover coat on. But the thing is, what you have is a guy named Ty Domi, Bell River, Canada's only. Now, the thing is that a guy that you played against a lot of the time, you don't really agree with it and you don't really get along, but until different things happen, that you are on his side. So, little bit of penalty box mishap right here 20 years ago.
Ty just squirted water all over these guys behind him.
And it happens. Guys squirt water like this because guys throw stuff at people. Now, I'm going to say that might be a little bit excessive, but you never want to do this because watch the lawsuit, Ty, but you watch the other angle and he whacks him a few times. So you're going to get in there, and actually Gord Brossiker, the linesman and Kevin Collins there, they do a heck of a job. Oh, yeah, I'm not touching him. I'm not touching him. I'm not touching him. Watch the lawsuit. There you go. There's one. Another great time, right? So if you end up in a penalty box with a professional hockey player, be ready to get your head punched.
Not just a professional hockey player, Ty Domi.
And Ty Domi.
Jesus. Like, of all guys, Ty Domi you're going to go after?
But it's not always violence, guys, that goes on, right? And Brendan Shanahan, obviously president of the Toronto Maple Leafs, you know, one of the big reasons.
Former Devil.
Diggity, but former Devil, you know, obviously Maz has to get that in. But here's the thing. There's sometimes in the playoffs, fans and, you know, male and female get on you. Well, Brendan Shanahan was as quick as anybody else. And we're going to watch how my teammate, you don't even have to say anything. You don't even have to do anything. This is a great way to react to a female fan.
Ryan Englund. Gary, in the playoffs, it's team against team. It's man against man. It's city against city. Sometimes it's woman against man. I'm going to show you something that you don't see very often. In tonight's game, this lady, every time there's a penalty to Detroit, she gets in the face of everybody. Sergei Fedorov doesn't pay attention. But last game, Brendan Shanahan had enough. Same lady on the right side. Sometimes subtlety
Shave your
is
armpits,
the best
lady.
result.
Hey, it's not a good look.
Sometimes subtlety is the best.
Not a good look. Not a good look.
I love Shanny.
And it's little things like that where, you know, a lot of times you're in the penalty box, so there would be one drunk or ridiculous fan, and you got to watch out because there's some kids around. So whenever you could figure out funny ways to do that, that gets the message across. And when you turn the opposing team's fans where they actually laugh, you actually win them on your side, and they hope for you to come back. You don't know how many times this is where I'd be in warm-up, and they'd be saying, you come into the penalty box today? You know, you're going to come visit? So, you know, a little bit of penalty box antics. Remember, if you're going to be an idiot and bang on the glass and you fall in, don't do it with a guy named Ty Domi. And if you're going to chirp at Brendan Shanahan, ladies, make sure you shave your armpits.
Shave your pits.
D-Mac story time for today.
So,
this
D-Mac,
Tuesday.
Outside of Detroit's penalty box, is there a city you spent more time in the penalty box than anywhere else and got to know the fans?
They're always, like what you get to know, right, is the guys in the box, the guys who work the box, right? Because there's a lot of them are retired police officers, or they do all the different statistics and stuff.
Right.
But you'll get to know the guy who opens the door for the ice. But I always used to have a conversation in San Jose, because there used to be this family and this younger kid who was a big San Jose fan. But I would get Joe Thornton to throw pucks over to throw to him, and so I was like that. I was having conversations, but it's more so the conversations with the guys that worked in the penalty box for the league.
That's
because the good ones always had gum.
they hook it up. Like, I got you, D-Mac. Here's your Winter Fresh. Good job
here's
beating
the pack
the
of
hell out of
ice,
that guy.
and here's the Winter Fresh gum. Take two. We insist.
Hey, I got something for you guys. Easy sent this to me from Bleacher Report. We talked about baseball. There's going to be less crowds this year. Only 8,200 on opening day. We're hoping to get more crowds as the summer goes on. But this says from Bleacher Report, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says the league is preparing for stadiums to be fully open to fans this upcoming season.
Yeah, NFL doesn't care. Like, they pushed their season forward. They didn't take any breaks. They're ready to rock.
So
man.
my point would be, right, and that's great news. So
it's September.
I understand that.
Yeah,
but if we want to look ahead and enjoy everything about tailgating and the festivities downtown, then I can eat tomorrow and accept it more because of more world, right? Because then if we can all be down in Eastern Market or do whatever for tailgates for Lions games, especially this year. So, it all makes sense, like it's playing out. Look at the path that's being played out for us. So hopefully, and if you do go down and you're going to the game, just be safe.
Yeah.
Smart, safe.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
Be a person, not people.
Exactly. That's been my whole philosophy through this whole past year, is just don't be stupid. And if you keep that simple rule in mind, you should be good.
Yeah, but there's going to be people drinking. In other words, they're not going to be themselves. They're going to be the drunk person of themselves.
Yeah, still, don't be stupid.
Well, I don't think they can help themselves. I mean, I'm a designated driver my whole life. I see this.
Maz, you just gave me, I was just, holy shit, I'm not going to be drunk on opening day. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, holy cow, because then I don't have to worry
You'll live
about
like me for once.
There you go.
So you're
Not for
telling me
once,
I got a
you're good.
designated driver.
You do have a designated driver.
Hey, when you have me, you've got a designated driver. Always.
Man. What's up, best friend?
You got it, Stick. I got you back,
No,
man.
thank you, man.
But I'm looking forward to the NFL season, man. First of all, we're all looking forward to April 29th when it's the NFL draft. Alabama had their pro day today. So did Ohio State. But how about that Alabama pro day? Mac Jones, who is skyrocketing all of a sudden, up the charts. They even making me want to have the Lions pick him.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm now a Mac Jones fan. I bought in.
The 49ers are
Did
all
you
in.
watch any of that today? He's
Yeah, I
throwing
saw it.
marshmallows. He's throwing marshmallows.
That's because he's throwing people off. He wants to go to the 49ers.
Okay.
Yeah, they're taking them at 3. I mean, they
Isn't
pretty
that
much
something?
committed to that already. Like, so we already know who the number 1 and the number 3 pick in the draft are going to be.
You know number 2. It's Zach Wilson.
You think Zach Wilson's
Yes,
going
the
number
Jets
2?
are going number 2 with him.
So then we know
They
the
are.
top 3, and we
How
know
can
number
you pick
10 is
Mac
Patrick
Jones
Surtain.
If how could you pick Mac Jones over
Trey Lance?
No, Zach Wilson.
How
if
can
he was
I
there.
personally? But we had this conversation with Mac Jones. You have what he is, right? You've seen him compete against great athletes, and you've seen him compete in a very competent offense.
With great players.
Yes, with great players.
Yeah.
With Zach Wilson and a Trey Lance, you're banking on potential because you haven't seen them play against the extreme competitive. Like, they didn't play in the SEC, so they weren't getting monster defenses in their face every single week. So to me, and that's why scouts get paid the money. If they can recognize the potential, and if a guy can reach that potential, scout looks like a genius. If they say this guy's going to be great, doesn't get there, scout looks like an idiot, he's fired. So I could understand why you take a Mac Jones. I wouldn't personally, but I understand why San Francisco's interested, and they feel that he fits better in Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Well, if they're looking for that piece, right, that Jimmy Garoppolo, that they're saying that he's pretty much they're saying this is the guy that can make that throw for the Super Bowl.
They're also
one
saying,
throw. That's all of this is based on one throw.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
You know what? They're also saying that Garoppolo's not going anywhere. So
Right.
if they do take Mac Jones, he's going to learn under Garoppolo.
Yeah, they're hoping he pushes the best out of Jimmy, is what their coach said. It's like, well, first
Doesn't
you're going to make
sound
Jimmy
good.
disgruntled. Then he's going to want to get out of there. But at the end of the day, you're getting paid. Do your damn job.
And you're playing in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Santa Clara, which is a gorgeous part of the country. So
Yeah, you're making some good money. That's
it's
a
all
decent
good.
life.
And you're in Hollywood, man. I mean, he's going to be in Hollywood, this guy, with his looks. I mean, how could he fail?
Right. Well, do you guys want to get into it? Who do you like for tonight?
Absolutely. I'll go first. And let's go. riding that train, minus 6.5. I'm going to take them. Maz can take we're parlaying it. I don't feel as confident about USC winning outright, although I told you I'm doing a $5 USC straight up, Michigan straight up parlay. That'll be my bet of the night.
I dig it. Go ahead,
$5 action.
$5 holla.
$5 holla. I'm just going to follow D-Mac.
You sticking with it? We're all three then.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. And, it's half heart, half head. I think we all just want, personally, Michigan to win. Me, for multiple reasons. One, because this network, it's awesome to be able to talk about Michigan basketball this far into the year. And if they could play another week, then we're only 3 weeks away from the draft. And we've had great Michigan sports all the way up to the NFL draft. So you love that. And I think they're the better team. And we've seen it. If they can click and they can play together, nobody can beat Michigan.
If they play like they played against Florida State, they win tonight easily. But UCLA is like a bad headache. They will not go away. So do not think they're going to walk all over them. They're favored by 6.5. I think they cover the spread barely, but they win tonight.
It's the same thing as far as the Mobley matchup with USC and Gonzaga. Because right? So Michigan's prepared for the relentlessness of UCLA. Is Gonzaga prepared for what USC has to throw at them? That's, would you rather UCLA play Gonzaga than USC? So it'll be the way that plays out. But they got to play the full game.
Yep. It doesn't matter who's in front of them at this point. They got to win 3 more games.
All 40 tonight.
That's it, man. We need the whole squad to show up. So are you guys taking a nap?
No.
I will.
You will?
No way,
man. I don't know if I don't know if it's called a nap or maybe an edible sleep.
A somber.
Whatever. Somber.
Yeah, there you
somber.
go.
I'm going to have a siesta.
A siesta.
To Pillar coming back tomorrow. Siesta.
I might have to cook up maybe get one of those DiGiorno's.
No, there you go.
Cook it up maybe about, right around 9:45. Get that smell going in the house. Get that pizza.
Pizza aficionado you are. I'm shocked you mentioned DiGiorno.
Well, DiGiorno's good. I like Kroger frozen pizza, to be honest with you.
No.
I'll tell you this. The DiGiorno single serve in the air fryer for 11 minutes. Crisp that thing out. You'll never have a better bite if you like crunchy pizza.
You talking about the French bread joint or just the normal?
You can use that. I'm talking just those DiGiorno pizzas, the cheese ones and the pepperoni cheese ones. You put them in the air fryer 11 minutes. That comes out like just a little bit on the extra burnt end, but it crunch.
I'm sensing a new bit here. D-Mac Snacks. I like
snacks. D-Mac Snacks are always. He's got them in the bag too. He's always got those buffalo blue cheese wing or blue cheese combos.
Well, thank you guys for hanging out with The Hook today, 3 to 5 every day right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. Like I said, Pilar will be back here tomorrow so you guys can get back into your normal routine. And I appreciate the couple days being able to hang out with you.
We loved having you, man. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. This has been a lot of fun.
You're like Dennis Eckersley coming out of the pen, man.
I'll take that.
You're good.
I like the Eck, man.
You're good.
That was one of my favorite pictures back in the day.
I didn't call you Mariano, though.
Well, that's the Sandman. That's a different. That's lights out, baby.
That's lights out.
Yeah, you guys have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine. Don't forget, opening day will be at the Brass Rail celebrating D-Mac's birthday.
Yes.